certain extreme situations, the law is inadequate. In order to shame its inadequacy, it is necessary to act outside the law, to pursue natural justice. This is not vengeance. Revenge is not a valid motive, it's an emotional response. No, not vengeance. Punishment.
Tonight we have a chance to say, yeah, you're right. We're too extreme, we're too wild, we're too out of control, we're too full of our own shit. Or we have a chance to say, hey, fuck you, you're wrong. Fuck you, we're right. Because you have all made it to the dance. Because believe me, this is the dance. Start the show.
Good evening and welcome. I think I can say with 100% certainty that my voice is 100% all the way back. Welcome to the show. It's Steel Toe. It's the last show of the day. It's the evening show. Morning guys got us $5 into the goal. I think we're going to go on a big run tonight. We're not going to have to worry about that, so I'm excited there. And then we've got a whole bunch of shit to watch and talk about. Whole lot of things happened to me today. I had one of the most uneventful days ever. It was like I didn't go a lot of places. I made a trip to Culligan to refill some of the water jugs. I don't like the home delivery thing. I know people prefer the home delivery for the 5-gallon water jugs. I don't like it. Because you set a day that they come by, like let's say the second Tuesday of the month or whatever. And if I drank less water than that, then I've got all these fucking bottles I don't need. But if I drank more than that, what if I don't make it to the second Tuesday? You know what I do? I get 2 at a time. I go in like once a week or once every 10 days or so, and I go get my water bottles. I did that. And I ran out and did some other shit today. I don't remember. But then, but I did have an eventful day in terms of like just being here at the house. I had another conversation with the police today. Very productive call with the police. They are, without saying too much, they're just really interested. They gave me some updates. I was very happy with the updates I got. They asked me a few more things. They kind of let me know what was next. And there we go. So that's moving forward, which is cool. You know, I would, 2.5 months ago, if someone would have said, hey, going to talk to the cops twice in less than a week, I would have said, well, that doesn't sound like a whole lot of fun. Doesn't sound like a good time. Then somebody sent me a clip today of somebody having a really hard time coping with the consequences of their behavior. And, little word to the wise, if you're going to be someone who's going to accuse everyone of being a liar or a phony or anything else, and you're projecting and you're wrong, you probably shouldn't be a lying, filthy piece of shit. Just a tip. You don't have to take it. I mean, after all, it would only be productive. And I don't think that that they would be into that. But I saw that clip. That was great. I laughed really hard at that. And then I was watching something just before the show started. This is why I try not to click on too many like shitverse clips or anything like that, because we're not in that. They try to pull us in because we're a bigger show and they can kind of get some reach out of it. But really, we're kind of an independent. We're a pirate ship here at Steel Toe. We kind of go off and do our own thing. We talk about this. We talk about that. And I think that causes a little bit of jealousy. A little bit of envy. But, it's hard not to click on those sometimes because that group of people is just so fucking retarded. And they take everything so seriously. I was watching a clip before the show because I like Kevin Brennan. I think Kevin's really funny. Kevin's the best one out of that whole group. And Kevin is watching a clip of this nobody. This guy, it's another one of these guys that does a Red Bar impression. You know, it's another one of these guys that tries to do a poor Mike David. And it's so painful to watch because you can tell he's so clearly, there's nothing worse than inventing beef because your channel's too small, like Patrick did with us, right? Patrick had nobody watching. He had no subscribers. He had to grab somebody bigger than him and just kind of ride along. And that's what he's been doing with us. And this other guy was doing that same thing. Like, you know, like you have no reason to talk about this person. They don't know you. You don't really come across their mind. Nothing. But you have to latch on. It's kind of a dishonest, hacky thing to do. That's why they call it the hackverse, I think. Well, there's this guy, Dan. And this guy, Dan, was talking about Kevin Brennan for no reason other than he was hoping he would get Kevin Brennan's impression. Now, or attention, excuse me. I have no problem with people doing that for that reason if they admit it. If they just admit their insecurity and they go, look, I'm desperate. I really want to get more eyes on my product, so I am completely inventing a thing with Kevin Brennan, a guy who wouldn't piss on me if I was on fire. That I would respect, because at least that's honest. I think in many ways, John from Win by Two does that. John from Win by Two goes like, yeah, I'm going to talk about these guys because it can get me attention. He's a whore, but I think he's an honest whore. This guy acts like he has something to say about Kevin Brennan. Kevin put it on his show, and I swear to God, I'm only going to play this for you for a minute or so, because it's one of the most unlistenable things I've ever watched. Like, I know when Keanu's clips came out about the April thing, like Kino Casino was on there going, this is the most unlistenable thing I've ever seen. And I was watching a video of Kino Casino and Keanu going back and forth and going at it. And by the way, Kino Casino triggering the shit out of a lot of talk show hosts lately. But Keanu and them were going back and forth. So this Dan guy, and this Dan guy is also in a bunch of people's super chats. He's in a bunch of people's chats trying to send them a couple of bucks. Like, I think he does it with Chad and some other people to, again, try to get himself some attention. You could, novel idea, put on a compelling product. But I guess that waved bye-bye a long time ago. So he did this thing where he talked about Kevin, and he got Big Kev to respond, which is interesting. Let's take a look.
That's your whole thing. Times. And then read the super chats. You just turn on, throw on a clip, say wow a couple of times. And then
first of all, anybody who fucking insults the Kevin Brennan wow has taken the nation by storm. It's a sensation. So if you don't get wow, go fuck yourself. You don't belong here. Also, it's just, what is it about the Red Bar imitators that they think? These guys seem to think that the thing that makes Mike David good is that he talks really slow and draws everything out. Stop it. That's not what. So all these guys talk really slow, repeat things 4 times, and try to be as low energy as possible. Ugh.
Read the super chats, count the money, and you go, and then,
I gotta read them by law.
I gotta read them by law. They all these guys, like, guys like this Dan, and I'm not saying this is the case, but they all talk like their mom's in the next room and they can't make too much noise. Either that or they're just incredibly boring.
Have to read the super chats by law.
By law.
You do that, and that's your whole thing. And you say, Rob Saul ain't got no money. Pat Dixon ain't got no money. Gino ain't got no money. Wow.
These guys are trying so hard to get my attention. Pat
Right.
Dixon tried all weekend. I ignored him. And then I finally was like, all right, Pat, I'll respond. Then he goes, you reactive bitch. I was like, Pat, you've been tweeting at me for the last 24 hours.
Kevin's 100% right on that shit. Like, all these ankle biters try to go at him and like say shit about him and say shit about him. Then when you go, what is it, sweetie? You know, when you're real condescending and you put them in their place, they go like, "Oh, I got you to respond." You're just like, I'm dealing with amateurs. It's fucking amateur hour over here. That's what happens with this show, too. People will scream for my attention, and I'll go, "God, you're my favorite lolcow." Boy, I'm in your head constantly. They go, "Oh, I got you to respond." And I'm like, boy, nothing gets past this guy. He saw that I responded. It's like, you spend your free time trying to get my attention. Then I grace you with it, and you act like a zoo animal. I guess that's a win? No. It's a win for the toe.
Now this guy, now he's like, Brennan, and I've never met them. I guess I was on their show one time, but now he's going after me to get my attention. Good, you got it. Let's all watch together.
All right, we don't need to watch any more of that. That's what I was watching before the show, just wasting my fucking time. Because I sit down here and just kind of veg out before the show starts, and that popped up on the front page, and I'm like, I'll watch Kevin rip on a guy. And like, do you know how boring of a personality you have to be that Kevin Brennan shitting on you isn't entertaining? That's bad, dude. So but I never learned my lesson. I click on those every once in a while going, maybe this one will be good. Why? Why would this one be good? None of them are ever any good. They're always shit. That's why they call it the shitverse, I suppose. All right, let's talk to some people. Here we go. Pakistan with 199 says, tell us more about the goal, cuck. Well, I'll tell you this. And by the way, the artist formerly known as Cuck, get it right. Come on. Let's at least put some respect on the name. The artist formerly known as Cuck. 185 is the goal. Pakistan, Pakistan did ask. So therefore, everybody click that PayPal link, the Streamlabs link. Go to Venmo, Steel Toe Media Inc. on Venmo. Contribute there. It takes no percentages or super chats, gifted memberships, and Rumble rants, which we have all of those so far tonight. Thank you to Spam-A-Lot for $2. He says, you make Sean Melton and Ashton put together look thin. You make Sean Melton and Ashton. Oh, I look fat today. Thank you. I'm sorry. I hate it when I need to get a Rosetta Stone for your insults. Adam Simon gifting a membership. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And Vadam with $5 says, all right, Aaron is wearing my favorite Amazon delivery shirt. Cheers to Amazon Prime next day delivery. Of course. Thank you, Vadam, for the $5. All right, so we're $10 in for tonight. Thank you very much. 185 is the number. Just, evening show, shit. Just everybody keep dropping in $5-10 at a time. We'll be out of that in no time, and we'll give you a half hour of overtime. Half hour of overtime. What a fucking guy, huh? An extra, what does that make it? An extra 25% of show. Just a nice gentleman. We've got, oh my God, it is, some of my notifications here are just drama central. Oh my goodness. In a very, very funny way. God, it's like 5 minutes after I say something, it's just out there. I feel like a breaking news maker. All right, we got a lot of stuff to get to tonight. I promise we're not going to do any more cheap nickel podcast drama shit. There's nothing really to report. I just want to throw to you guys, keeping you up to date on things. I did get a phone call from the police today, and we had a great conversation, and a lot of things were illuminated for me, and I was informed about what's coming next, what things are going to happen going forward. And I, very simply, I just said, look, anything you need from me, I got it. Anything you need from me that I somehow haven't gotten to you yet, let me know. Thank you very much. Oh, a fake dono coming in for $10 on PayPal. Now, remember, guys, if you throw in on Venmo or PayPal, make sure you call it a fake dono. That's very, very important. All the stuff on PayPal and Venmo are fake donos. Thank you very much. I can't say the person's name because it was fake. 175 away from tonight. Thank you very much. Again, we'll just chip away at that slowly but surely. Thank you guys so much. So, what are we starting out with news-wise? You couldn't catch Shatner in that shirt. Oh, boy. Stavi says, it says 60 minutes of OT. Oh, shit, that was from this morning. Fuck. I'm kind of held to that, aren't I? SP's not going to be here by then anyway. She's going to be here late tonight. What do you think, fans? What do you think, guys? Let me know. Do I have to kind of, like, if I'm going to be like a credible, if this business is going to be credible and I'm going to have a reputation as someone who backs up, this is kind of like when you put the wrong price tag on an item and someone comes up to buy it. You can't be like, oh, that's not what I meant to, make that the price. That's the price. All right. Fuck me to death. I really stepped in it this time. I guess we're doing 60 minutes of overtime. If you guys knock out that 165, we're going until 10 o'clock tonight. Shit. If you guys... Not Mr. Beat says false advertising is illegal. You're right. I didn't change the goddamn caption from this morning. So therefore, yes, 175 will put us at an extra hour. Pakistan says fan for 10 years. You just make horrible decisions. I mean, what am I in a position where I can tell the guy he's wrong? Of course not. Of course not. Atomic Ray said, I'd tell these poors to fuck off. They don't make the rules. We are still in a capitalist society. Yes, that's true. But even though, and you guys aren't going to believe this, some people don't like me, which is crazy, I'm the most likable guy that does a show. Funniest guy that does a show. Weirdest guy who does a show. How can they not like me? I take that very personally. It hurts my feelings. I'm a nice enough fella. And some people, I'm not their cup of tea. You wouldn't know it by how much time they spend with me, but I'm not their cup of tea. Can you believe that? But I want to run an honest program. I want to run a program where, you get what, is presented. And if I say 60 minutes, and even if I fuck that up, then it's 60 minutes. Triple N says, did you meet the goal this morning? Yes, we were even $5 heavy. So thank you for that. Fauci's Pangolin says Hitler would wear the shirt. This shirt? I knew A to the H had some taste. Triple N says unfunny dweeb, quoting Keanu Thompson. Yeah, Keanu, I talked to Keanu about that one day. I said, you said some really fucking shitty stuff. I just got a message that says you're going to want to see this. Oh, no, that's not him. Okay, somebody sent me, although it looks a lot like him. Somebody sent me the Florida law enforcement list of sex offenders, predators, and there's a Patrick Lewis Melton on there. And he's got he looks like Patrick. He really does, but that's not him. Although 6'2", 360 pounds, that's pretty accurate. But no, this is Patrick Lewis Melton. That is not, I don't believe that's Patrick's name. So, but thank you very much. Somebody sent that to the show text line and they were like, you're not going to fucking believe this. This is amazing. You got to see this. I've seen it before. People have sent it. Taste Fairy Ialto says, well, you shouldn't have shit all over their wedding cake. I mean, that's true. I mean, Triple N, you can say what you want. Keanu called you an unfunny dweeb. I did make fun of their wedding cake. I did tell people to stop making fun of their wedding cake. But I took some shots at it. So Triple N, I appreciate you looking out for me, but fair is fair, I think. Dead Game says pedorasses fit a profile. Triple N said there is a mold. What do they call that? What's a phenotype when there's just kind of a look? Unfortunately for Patrick, he does have that PDF look, He just has that PDF phenotype, unfortunately, It's, look, I have this hairline, shit happens. Vidam with $5 says, everyone get a Leinenkugels beer to celebrate this wonderful, amazing show. Cheers. Let's get drunk tonight. Question, why Leinenkugel specifically? What kind of fucking horse shit is this? What did Vidam got an endorsement? Did Vidam get a Liney's endorsement? Son of a bitch. Buffalo Jockey with $1 says Hitler wore the exact shirt once. He's seen himself in a mirror wearing it, and he K'd himself that exact moment. I'm not making suggestions by any means, though. Well, I tell you what, if Russians start knocking on my door tonight, who knows how it goes? Who knows? Triple N says it's the hairline of a headbutter. No doubt about it. You know what? We all know that didn't happen. Some people, they just get some people can't take responsibility for their own lives going to shit, and they try to pin it on others. Thank you very much for the $5, Vidam, and the $1 Buffalo Jockey. $170 away from tonight's goal. Thank you guys for the early rally. Keep it up. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. Skittles Cake says, did you make fun of me, you cum-guzzling Baldo son of a bitch? I'm not the Baldo guy, though. I'm just apparently the cum eater, which, again, it's pretty crazy when your life keeps falling apart and you can't take responsibility. Go ahead and make something up about someone else. I'm sure that'll take the heat off you. For sure. Atomic Ray says, Aaron doesn't have mirrors. Look at that hairline. Let me tell you something. I do have mirrors. I look at them. I notice my hair, and I have finally admitted to myself that it is moving backwards. You know how like a year ago I kept telling you guys, I'm like, no. It's been this bad since I was in high school. And I do remember in college that I could kind of feel the top of my head that it had moved back that far. But I caught a glimpse of it not too long ago, and I'm like, look, buddy. Like I had a conversation with myself as I looked in the mirror. I was like, look, pal. You ain't fooling anybody. Nobody's buying it. So why don't you just admit that the Norwood Monster comes for us all? You're not as young as you used to be. Even when you were as young as you used to be, that hairline wasn't exactly fucking crushing. Some people calling it an N64 controller haircut. It's not a haircut, asshole. It's the way my hair is. I love how he calls it a haircut as though I go in and I go, look, I have an idea. You're going to think this is nuts, but you know what I think we can do? Just go make it look like you have Parkinson's in the front of my head. Make it look like you're trying to form the bat. Make it look like you're trying to summon Batman on the front of my face. Could we do that? Make kids that are driving by my forehead think that, you know, there's a McDonald's up the road. It is not a haircut. I repeat, not a haircut. Mr. Beat says it hasn't changed much in the past week, so you've got that going for you. Thanks, buddy. That's something to look forward to. Dead Game says, let the top grow out a bit and part to the side. I've done that before, but it's like, if I do that here, do you really think people are going to go, oh, Aaron, that works great. Yeah, wow, your hair really improved. No, they're going to be like, oh, hiding it again, aren't you queer? Be who you are. Be yourself. Be unafraid in the face of adversity. That's what I say. Cover one side with a part. No. Grow it. Yeah, see, Jonesy the Cat also says grow it out in the front and part it down the middle. Now, Chad Buzamak has a little bit different idea. He says shave it all off now. I don't like to admit things that Chad Buzamak, who's an asshole, can use against me later. But I will tell you that this weekend, for a fleeting moment, there were probably about 2.5 minutes worth of my weekend where I looked in the mirror and I said, maybe it's time to take it all down. You know, maybe it's time to just give it the old shaveroonie. Because I'll tell you this too. It's getting to be, and maybe I'm just paranoid. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just not counting right. It feels like I'm using less shampoo for longer after a haircut. And it feels like I go in for my next haircut later than I used to. It doesn't, Like, I got a haircut a while ago, probably like 3 weeks ago. And when I'm in the shower and I'm shampooing my hair, I just sit there and go, it's still really short. Like, it's not growing that fast. And it's starting to worry me. It's starting to worry me. People saying, Aaron, no. 09 Canyon says, comb around from the back and wrap it around the whole head. You want me to do the, the Christian Bale in American Hustle? Is that what I should do? Billy Bob Norris says, unless you have cancer, don't shave it off. It just makes it look worse. Well, that's the other news I wanted to share with you. You see, I got back from the oncologist. No. Jonesy the Cat says, dude, just shave it. Wearing hats makes male pattern baldness worse. Mr. Beat going old school. He says, get a toupee. Whoa. That's an old school way to handle your thinning hair. I could get a rug. What do you think? Go full mullet. You could have a skull reduction, have the Paul Heyman ponytail. You know, I appreciate you guys helping out. I do. I appreciate you guys, sharing your ideas with me. This is, believe it or not, this is very helpful, whether you intended to be or not. All right, here we go. We've got 170 to go until we knock out tonight's goal. And since I promised you a half hour, since I promised you an hour of overtime, I will deliver. Let's start tonight with Joe Rogan giving out the reason why Kamala Harris didn't end up doing his podcast. This is, to me, one of the most boneheaded moves in this whole election. When they carve this election up and they break it down for historical purposes, I think the idea that Kamala Harris thought it would be better to pay Oprah Winfrey, and we'll tell you tonight how much she actually paid her. Everyone's saying she paid her $1 million. Oprah got $1 million to show up at a campaign event for Kamala. I'll tell you this tonight. I'll tease the story this way. It's horse shit. She didn't pay her $1 million. We'll have the number for you later. No Pen 15 Fathead with $2 says, how often do you need to clean the hair out of the shower? You clean hair out of your shower? That's my answer. Mine just kind of goes down the drain. Thank you for the $2, buddy. 170 away from tonight. Team up and just blast that PayPal and Venmo. Just squirt money all over it. So I think the biggest error of this campaign is Kamala thinking bringing Beyonce and Oprah and Jeff Bridges and other people out to campaign for her was a huge mistake. And Donald Trump deciding to go on Rogan and Nelk Boys and Aiden Ross and Bussin' with the Boys and Theo Vaughn and Flagrant 2 and all these different podcasts that young people watch, I think is why he turned out so much more youth vote than Republicans typically do. He seemed cool. And plus, Kamala's sitting here paying people $500,000, $1 million, however many millions she's dishing out to these celebrities to show up at her live events. Donald Trump's getting to go on these podcasts for free and getting 30, 40, 50 million views. I don't know how many the Rogan podcast has at this point, but if you go JRE Experience Trump, there we go. Exactly 50 million views. Ooh, fuck JD Vance. He's only got 17. Yikes. You think Trump lets him know about it? I got 50 million, JD. JD's only got 17. That's okay. That's okay. Let's go ahead and listen to Joe Rogan as to why Kamala Harris. Now, it would be one thing if Kamala Harris never got asked on by Rogan. That's one thing. But he wanted her on, and she had the fucking audacity to put terms on it, terms that he couldn't agree with. So she goes, her people went, nah, we're not going to go on the biggest show on the internet. Unbelievable.
There was a question about why she wanted to do the Rogan interview. And a lot of things went back and forth. And apparently Rogan went her in Texas, and they said, let's do it for an hour. Well, he finally answered it. Let's go ahead and play the clip from his explanation.
They had, I don't know how many conversations with my folks Right.
but multiple conversations, giving different dates, different times, different this, different that. And we knew that she was going to be in Texas. So I said, open invitation. I think they had requirements on things that she didn't want to talk about. She didn't want to talk about marijuana legalization, which I thought was hilarious.
Why?
Like that.
Hey, listen, I'm going to go on Joe Rogan's show, and I don't want to talk about weed. Like, hey, I'm going to be in a Cheech and Chong movie, but I don't want to be associated with anything drug related. Would that be okay? You can't go on Rogan and not, what are you going to do? Talk about chimps and ayahuasca? You got to pivot to weed once in a while or the conversation becomes stale.
That's so because of her prosecuting record. And, she put a lot of people in jail for weed.
You had that, and you had this from one of the spokesmen. There was a backlash with some of our progressive staff that didn't want her to be on it and how there would be backlash.
Now, if you ask me, this is kind of the problem with the left in general. This is a great snapshot of why they lost this election. It's because the left in this country has gone so far left that they're not really even the left anymore. They've created like a new thing. Like, to me, the quote unquote right in this country, the conservatives, the right is the center. The moderates are the lefties. And the people on the left are just out to fucking lunch. These people are insane. I mean, imagine saying, I'm not going to go on Joe Rogan where Donald Trump just got 50 million people watching him for free. I've got to pay Beyonce $2 million to come to a campaign event that's going to draw 5,000 people. Fucking unreal. They deserved to lose. And also this idea that you're going to let these progressives tell you, you can't go on Rogan, he's this, he's that. Blah, blah. You just stopped your candidate from going on the most popular show there is because you were worried about, because you think Joe Rogan says mean things. You think Joe Rogan says too right-wing of things. You know what? That's good. Keep gatekeeping speech. Keep gatekeeping who can be on a show and who can't. And you'll keep falling further and further behind. For the last 20 years, I've been hearing people on the right say, like, we're in a culture war and we're going to get pushback this time. We're going to push back against the left and we're going to kill this censorship. We're going to defeat it. I didn't realize it until this election. The right was never going to beat the left when it came to censorship and free speech and all that. They were never going to beat them. What was going to happen was the left was just going to keep the accelerator down to the floor until they ran out of gas. And when they ran out of gas, everyone was just going to be like, well, we're not following you guys anymore. You're fucking insane. They were going to beat themselves. Because when you respond to these fucking lunatics, you kind of sound like a lunatic too. You have to defend people who say offensive shit. And people go, well, why are you defending that guy? He's a piece of shit. It's like, well, because these guys are trying to get rid of his ability to make a living just because he said shitty things. I may think the guy says shitty things, but I don't want him to be fired or punished for it because then when the winds change one day, they can do the same thing to me. So you fight back, but you kind of look like you're defending scumbags and people don't want to follow you that way. But if you just what we didn't realize all this time was if we just would have shut up and let these lefties keep talking, they'll fuck themselves over. Joe Rogan's too far right. Progressives won't let their candidate go on. Okay, that's great. Nobody will hear your message. You'll rot and die. Or we can't go on this show or that show. We can't go on this show. Eventually, they would get so far left that they'd be like, well, we can't go on The View. It's too offensive to go on The View. And they just kind of, they'd move so far to their left that they'd isolate themselves from the mainstream. No amount of us pushing back, quote unquote, was ever going to stop these people. It was always going to be them defeating themselves because remember, it's just like with the trans community. They never know when to quit. They never know when to take their win and go. They don't know when to pick the chips up off the table and fuck off. And that's kind of what happened here. Oh, the progressive staff didn't want Kamala going on Rogan because they don't approve of the things Rogan says. Well, Trump went on, he got 50 million views, and he kicked your ass in a landslide. And it was partly because of Joe Rogan. So congratulations. Keep doing it, by all means. This is what I mean. Don't get in their way. Let them keep doing this shit. They will. Even if you say something about it because they think they're oh so much fucking smarter than you. Adam Simon with $2 says, know your role. And shut. Leah with $9.99 says, I didn't vote for Trump, but he ran an amazing campaign. The podcast he did that Akash was on was phenomenal. Also, found you from the drama, staying because you're interesting. What? Wow. Thank you very much, Leah, for that $9.99. I appreciate that. Dustin with $1.99 says this story is 2 weeks old. Yeah, but, we got to do this one for the boomers in the back. You understand, Justin? We got to do it for those boomers in the back because they don't always get this shit right away. So we save it for them, My parents are boomers. Your parents are probably boomers. They deserve to know things. Adam Simon with $5 says the right will win because the left doesn't even understand what it's fighting for. Yeah, the left has ideas that are good, but they don't promote them. They have ideas that are good, like say, I'm going to say not allowing hedge funds and like investment banks and multinational corporations to buy single-family homes in America. I think that's a great idea. I think the left should be pushing that. But the Democrats won't push that because they have corporate donors. And they don't want their friends in the banking industry to think that the Democrats might actually be progressive. There are progressive ideas that are radical that I understand, that I get, but they push ones like biological dudes should be able to play basketball against chicks, and they'll fucking die on that hill for whatever reason. But when it comes to, hey, we can make houses for Americans more affordable if we cut multinationals and hedge funds out of the market. We can bring prices down. We can lower demand. We can make this more affordable again for people. So they do have ideas that would work, but they don't push those. They push stupid ideas. It's almost like they lose on purpose. Sam Show, lefties reporting at 42,000 reports per day. Where? Like on Twitter and shit? Oh, Blue Sky. Oh, he's talking about Blue Sky. If you don't know what Blue Sky is like the liberal alternative to X/Twitter. They went, oh, we want to get off Twitter because fuck Elon Musk. Elon Musk's an asshole. Okay. So they create their own thing. The problem is now they're eating each other because now they're just, everyone's hate speech. Everyone's like, if all the lefties think that if you get away from all the offensive right-wing people, then they'll have their utopia where they all think alike. The only problem is they're still going to be sensitive to microaggressions. They're still going to be sensitive to wrong speak. They'll just be tattling on each other now instead of the big bad right-wing people. So, yeah, this Blue Sky place was going to be like the new free speech place for left-wingers. But I guess they're reporting like 42,000 people a day for being offensive. I haven't dug into those numbers. Chad Buzamok says, are they reporting other lefties' posts or is it right-wing thinking posts? Well, that's interesting. And I don't know that one. Somebody had a good comment up here, and I can't find it now. Oh, Chernobog says, never interrupt your enemy when they're making a mistake. Let them think Rogan is right-wing. Yeah, I mean, you're going to look foolish, and if you disagree with them, shut your mouth and let them look foolish. Billy Bob Norris says the right knows how to podcast. They just don't know how to utilize those podcasts until now. Hat tip to Barron Trump. That's true. I don't think Joe Rogan's a righty either. I think Joe Rogan's one of those guys who's center left, but the left pulled it so far that way that now Joe Rogan looks like a conservative, which is wild to me. Absolutely wild to me. April's Missing Orgasm says, I don't get it because Twitter is whatever you make it. Whatever you follow, you get fed. Yeah, I don't understand why people can't make Twitter work. There's a setting on there. This is the one I've got. My notifications, I only get from people that are following me and I follow them back. I don't care what anybody else says. So I don't get those as notifications. So I don't give a shit. They don't show up. I don't see them. Everybody gets to say what they want. I don't have to see the shit because I don't really care what some guy with 12 followers thinks. If they follow me and I follow them, I want to know if they like my shit. I want to know if they commented or retweeted my stuff. I like that. So you can customize it. You can make it whatever you want. Only a big fucking baby is just going to quit. Because, I don't like what that guy said. Well, then don't follow him. Jesus, like everything has to be specially padded just for your existence. Fuck off. Make it whatever you want it to be. Yankee says, just imagine how affordable housing would be if we removed 20 million people. I feel like if I was sitting next to Yankee right now, I'd be like, oh, is that how many people are in the banking industry that buy the houses, the multinationals? And Yankee would look at me and go, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, no, I don't want to kill 20 million people. What, Yankee, you're going to kill 20 million people? No, I never said that. It's the multinationals, like you said, scummy bankers, right? Yeah, fuck them. Yeah, I certainly didn't say that we should wipe out 20 million weak people and strengthen the buying. No, I would never. That'd be insane, dude. I mean, come on. Buffalo Jockey with $1 says Democrats crucified Bernie Sanders for going on Joe Rogan years ago. Now they want to create their own Joe Rogan, which is insane if you think that's possible. They do have their own Joe Rogan. His name's Howard Stern. It's perfect for him. Thank you guys very much for your contributions. 155 away from tonight. Thank you. We're not even at the top of the hour. Let's get it under 150. I appreciate you guys. You're the best. Thank you so much. Thank you, Buffalo Jockey, for that $1. Links are in the chat. Streamlabs, PayPal, Super Chats, Rumble Rants, and Venmo. Keep that Venmo and PayPal ticking. 5, 10, 20 apiece. We'll get that thing knocked out in no time. Appreciate it. Rusty Grammar. Oh, wait. Doom says, Aaron, can you unblock me on X then? You won't see it anyway, unless you want to throw a follow at your favorite clipper. You know what? If we get under $100, if the goal goes under 100 by the top of the hour, I'm going to play a Doom clip at the top of the hour. I'm going to find my favorite Doom clip that he's recently uploaded, and we're going to take a look at it. Tell you what we think. That's what we're going to do. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. If we get under $100, I unblock Doom Clone, I follow him on Twitter, and then we watch one of his clips. That's fun. I like that. I don't want to make the person I've blocked pay for the unblocking. That's not fair to put all the financial onus on them. But if the audience thinks it's a fun little game to play and it, encourages them to donate, why not? And there's no rule against Doom Clone donating to his own game. Doom Clone says I have some funny new ones. All right. I really hope they're good. McBuster says Doom is on the Melton payroll. Aaron does it to himself. I would hope that by now Doom would understand that Patrick is a fucking problematic guy, as the kids say. Did you hear him today said that he lies all the time? He goes, I just lie all the time. Bro, I just lie all the time. Or however that awful hack voice of his goes. It's like, isn't that what you try to call other people out for? That they lie? And now you find yourself in trouble because you're a fucking retard. I was talking to somebody about this today. I go, there's a really fascinating thing about Patrick Melton. I've never seen it before. People are either dumb or they can play dumb. Patrick has the unique ability that he's a dumb guy. He's very stupid. Not only is he stupid, he overvalues his own intelligence, which is incredibly sad. He's really stupid and he plays dumb. People usually can't do that. He's an idiot, so he'll do a dumb, retarded thing, and then he'll play dumb like he didn't do the dumb, retarded thing. We've got to come up with a name for it. It's incredible. But then also, I'll tell you why Doom isn't on the Melton payroll. He would never be on the payroll of someone who is borderline MAP. I would, and I'm being generous. Melton can thank me for calling him borderline because, look, this is a guy, he can play dumb if he wants to. He has fantasized about having sex with children. Openly, verbally. And I don't know. You don't want to be on that guy's side. You can be. I mean, if Doom is on that guy's side, you can be. But you can hate me without liking someone who talks about having sex with children. Like in detail, multiple times. That's just a bad guy that you don't want any part. You got to be a desperate, burnt out motherfucker to be on that guy's side. Again, just hate me. That's easy enough. Adam Simon gifting a membership. Thank you very much. Again, if we get under if we get under $100, we get the goal under 100, I will unblock Doom. and we will play a Doom clip on tonight's show. Plus, if we knock out the goal tonight, we're doing an extra hour of overtime. I accidentally put that on the goal thing tonight, and I asked the audience, I said, look, I got to be honest, right? If I do that, I got to honor it. It's like a coupon. They said, yep, you got to honor it. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, let's go. And yeah, Jay Bra says, if you miss Aaron's show live, you can always watch it on Melton's show. That's a plus, I guess. Yeah, it's one of those deals where, like, if you hate Steel Toe, you can't say you hate Steel Toe because you love me. You adore me. You watch me twice, which is insane. McBuster says, Lemmy was wearing a non-binary onion hat the other day. She has kids. What a cheap cunt. Yeah, if she has kids and she follows that, that's pig behavior. That's really, I don't judge much, but I'll judge that. I mean, that's just, that's really, you got to be a fucked up person to roll that way, man. Again, you can hate me. That's easy. Rocky with $25. Thank you, Rocky. Oh, my goodness, $25. Coming in hot. Thank you very much. Hey, Doom Clone, we're at 130 for today. $130 away from tonight's goal. And again, if it gets under 100 by the top of the hour, I'm unblocking Doom on Twitter. I'm throwing him a follow. And then we're going to play one of his videos. I'm going to pick my favorite one, and we're going to play it. And then Chad Buzamok wants to be unblocked tonight. So I'm going to, in the second hour, we'll do that. Sam Show says they watch a worse version of this show. That's real bad. Yeah. But look, man, I've been doing this longer than any of them. And I'll tell you this. You never turn down fans, no matter how they present themselves, no matter how they are. Fans are fans. And the ones that hate you are sometimes more dedicated fans than the ones that love you. That's true. I wanted to do this Denzel Washington clip today. The second Gladiator movie is coming out, which I've kind of softened my position on. When the previews first started coming out, I was like, oh, fuck this, man. Not another Gladiator movie. Like, stop it. Make something new. But, some of the other previews that have come out, I think I saw one during football this weekend, during the Vikings game or the Packers game. I was watching both at the same time. And there was an ad that came on for Gladiator 2, and it doesn't, I wish they wouldn't call these movies, I wish they wouldn't connect them to the Maximus Russell Crowe Gladiator. I wish they'd just make it its own thing. But I can live with them calling it Gladiator 2. It doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look anywhere near as good as the first one. The first one was Ridley Scott's fucking masterpiece. I think you got to go ahead and hand it to him it's his best movie he'll ever make, right? Gladiator. Look, I love Kingdom of Heaven. Kingdom of Heaven is one of my favorite movies ever. I can be honest and say, even though it's not my favorite, Gladiator is objectively the best movie. Vidam with $5 says, R.I.P. InfoWars. I am sad that no one on the right was able to buy it. What a shame. Now, wait a minute. I just read over the weekend that a judge is going to review the sale of InfoWars, and he might make them do an open auction. Hold on a minute. Unless something just happened today. Company affiliated with Alex Jones seeks to disqualify the Onion's auction bid. Yeah, dude, they're still fighting that. They're challenging that. And right now, a judge has put the sale on hold. So that might not stand. And it shouldn't, man. They should make them they should make them take the bids, call them out, take the highest bidder. They should do it like, an actual auction. I think it was fucking Bush League the way they did it before. So don't panic on me yet, Vidam. Also, that puts us at 125 away from tonight. Thank you, guys. Let's see if we can rally one for Doom. We got 13 minutes to get under. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Fake Dono coming in. We got a $20 fake Dono. Thank you very much, Fake Donor, for throwing us a 20 spot. All right, here we go, guys. If we get 10 more bucks, if we get 10 more dollars coming in, I will go on Twitter. I will unblock Doom. I will follow him, and we'll play one of his videos. If we do it in the next 12 minutes. Thank you guys very much. And remember, if we knock out tonight's goal, we're going to do an extra hour. So Denzel was doing one of these promotional tour stops for Gladiator 2. And he admitted to something that it's interesting to me because he never had to admit to this. He's going to talk about a cutout scene from the movie, a scene they didn't put in the theatrical release. But he's going to admit to it anyway to this gay publication. And I'm not saying gay like, no, you guys are fucking gay. I mean, she's a homosexual with a septum piercing. Oh, boy. This is Denzel talking about something they did during the shooting of the movie that Denzel could have taken to the grave with him.
Your character makes a few remarks throughout the film about having a relationship with other men in the film. So I wanted to ask, how gay is the Roman Empire?
The entire empire, or I actually kissed a man in the film, but they took it. They cut it. I think they got chicken.
Denzel, bro, you didn't have to admit that. You could have taken that to the grave with you, that you kissed a dude on the mouth in the Gladiator 2 filming. You don't. And by the way, don't these guys have stunt doubles? So on some level, you've got to want to kiss a dude. You've got to be a little gay if you do it, because there's a lot of ways out of it. Like, I don't want to kiss a dude. If I was an actor, they'd probably call me a homophobe. It would probably cost me some roles or whatever. But they said, all right, you're going to kiss a dude in this one. I'd go, stunt double. We're doing the stunt double for this one. And really, more than anything else, it's the stubble that I can't deal with. I mean, the lips touching, that's fucking gay, and that's a problem, yes. But it's the stubble mostly, the rubbing. I don't know how women do it.
I was going to ask because I just heard about the Paul and Pedro forehead kiss that apparently got cut from the movie.
I'm not sure about that one, but yeah, I kissed the guy full on the lips, and I guess they weren't ready for that yet.
Yeah, they weren't. You know, if there's one thing that Hollywood and theater and acting aren't ready for yet, it's homosexuality. They really frown on that in the biz. There's one thing we know about Hollywood. It's they're not comfortable with gay. That's like saying that Hollywood producers aren't interested in fingering women against their will. I mean, you know, it's just something they frown upon in the business. No, I think they cut it out because, look, the target demo for this movie is going to be dudes. And if you put guys making out with each other in a dude movie, they're not going to want to go watch it. You can put guys, you know, spitting into their hand and fucking each other in the ass in Brokeback Mountain because that's a chick movie. April did make me watch it. And it's just my diagnosis. I watched it like 2 years ago. My diagnosis, it's just so gay. Too gay. Way too gay. NFL too gay too. Really bad. So when Denzel goes, oh yeah, I kissed a guy on the lips. The reason they didn't put it in the movie, Denzel, is because it was an ad lib. You weren't supposed to. You just kind of went with whatever you were feeling. Yeah, Sam Show says it right in the chat. It's unnecessarily gay. Look, I understand sometimes in movies, you got to get a little gay. You got to get a little bit of that gay dirt on you, right? But, you know, it's just right. You know, time and place, man. Time and place. Time and place. You know? If Russell Crowe in the original Gladiator was about to do that opening scene where he wipes out that Germanic tribe and he's just railing some chick from behind during it, you're like, this doesn't really, I mean, gratuitous sex scenes are fine, but not this way. That seems out of place. So Denzel just, you know, smooching dudes during a guy movie. No. And by the way, anybody else kind of feeling old looking at Denzel Washington? Anybody else starting to feel like they're a little seasoned, so to speak? He looks old, man. Malcolm X, Training Day. That's my Denzel Washington. Looking at him now, and he kind of looks a little skeletal. That hits me. That fucking hits me the wrong way. Sam Show just writes, he looks black. Elza Belza says they cut the jizz tasting scene out too. Oh, that was going to be my favorite. I should forward this text to Patrick Melton. It's SP going, straighten up in your chair. Oh, yeah. Did you guys know this? My spies on Discord discovered this. Did you know Patrick spends his moments away from his show thinking about me and like wondering about my life? This is true. On his Discord, he writes these big paragraphs about like what's going on in my life. So he does a show where all he does is talk about me, and all he does is look at my show and just gets mad at us having fun. But then when he gets off the air, instead of doing whatever it is a guy with that limited mobility and that girth does, he goes on his Discord. He sits right there at his computer just being fat and eating. And he goes right to Discord after his show, and he starts writing steel toe fan fiction. Like, he wrote this big giant screed about, SP is running the show now, and SP is telling him to sit up in his chair, and he wears that Vikings wristband because it reminds him of SP and all the stuff she tells him to say. She's the one who came up with the positivity stuff, and that's all her, and she's putting her fingerprints on the show. And I read that and I feel honored because I'm like, it's the Don Draper thing. You just go, I don't think about you at all. So he writes this fan fiction, and it's one thing to write fan fiction and be like Kiwi Farms where you read it. Dude, when I would hang out in Spicer back in the day and I would read Kiwi Farms, it was fucking creepy how close they were. And the Kino Casino guys too, because I enjoyed them. Even when I was there, like, don't tell Nick you watch Kino Casino. Like when you hang out with them. Because like when I would hang out with them, I would be like, dude, the Kino Casino guys did a thing about our hot tub stream. It was fucking hilarious. Like I watched PPP and Worski like rip apart that hot tub stream, and I laughed my fucking ass off because I was like, this is pretty gay. This does suck. This is awful. And those guys fucking nailed it. Oh my God, he gets mad. And he just starts... It's kind of like his Twitter. Like he just starts railing at you all these things that these guys have done to him ever. Oh my God, this is how they victimized me. This is what they said about me. This is what they said about this person. He just goes nuts, and you're like, Jesus, I'm sorry I brought it up. They made fun of us, and I thought it was funny. Never fucking do that again, I guess. But, it's one thing to do fan fiction and nail it. That's impressive. But Patrick gets obsessed about what I do outside of this show, and he is so 180 degrees off that I laugh really hard just looking at what people send me. It's watching a man melt down in real time is who deserves it. It's tasty. Adam with $5 says Patrick Melton is the epitome of what we all hope to never be. Boy, that's perfect. Nailed it. Mr. Me gifting a membership. Thank you very much. And Adam Simon gifting a membership. Hey, boys and girls, that puts us $95 away from tonight's goal with Vadam throwing in $5. Says, what night is Matt stopping by for a visit for a night show? I miss Matt on the night shows. Matt has a schedule that is so demanding that Matt will stop by the evening shows probably unannounced. He's probably going to come on unannounced because he's never really going to know ahead of time. Thank you guys very much for that. $95 away from tonight's goal. And you did it before 8 o'clock, which means I now have to go to Twitter. And I have to go to my blocked people. So I got to go to my settings here. Lists, settings and privacy. Privacy and safety. Mute and block. So I blocked you, Doom. Let's take a look. I got to look for Doom here. Is it just Doomspaya or Doomsaya or whatever the fuck? Because I'm getting close to the end of my... I don't have that many people blocked. Oh, there's Chad Buzamak. We'll unblock him tonight. If we just knock out the rest of the goal. Oh, there he is at Doomspaya. Unblock. And we'll throw this fucking mutant a follow. There we go. So I said that we would unblock Doom, and then we would check out one of his videos, whichever one I pick. Now, there's also Chad Buzamak who wants to be unblocked. If you guys knock out the rest of that $95 in this last hour here, not only will I unblock Chad Buzamak, but we'll also do that 1 hour of overtime tonight. So $95 away. Thank you, guys. And you're doing it $5 at a time. This is great. You guys are killing it. Keep it going. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. All right. Doom's Paya. Let's see.
Fair use.
Steel Toe Minstrel Show. You better not. Dan from Nice Podcast Stupid is done with MLC. That's 50. These are long, Doom. No offense, Doom, but these are really fucking long. I got to pick a short one, but not me. Oh, here we go. Aaron denies Baby Bird. Thank you, Doom. That's very nice of you to pick that clip. I appreciate that. Look at Doom getting my back. Boy, I tell you. He clips everything, though. You got to give him that. He gets there and does everything. Dan from Nice Podcast Stupid, getting to know Lou. I don't know Lou. Support at YouTube, Spam Troll, Space Hose, MF Doom Edition. The Morning Meltdown, Lou the God can't handle Doom. I don't know any of these people. I got to be honest with you, Doom. I'm not really feeling any of these. He says, play Lou the God or the YouTube Spam Troll if you're taking recommendations. Okay. You want me to play Lou the God Can't Handle Doom or Getting to Know Lou? You let me know. Play the Lou the God one. McBuster says Alyssa Clips is better. Look, I don't want to play favorites because I consider all the Clippers kind of my family members. I do. Some of them I get along with more than others, but I consider them all, they all clip my show. My subs are up like 300 in the last couple of weeks, and there's a reason for that. The Clippers are a big part of it. The one versus Doom. All right, guys, here you go. We're going to give Doom a big one here. The Morning Meltdown, Lou the God Can't Handle Doom. All right. It's 13 minutes long. I will say that's way too fucking long. I think if you keep your clips under 8 minutes, you'll get a lot of people watching them. But I don't know who Lou the God is, and I don't know who Doom is. Oh, I know who Doom is. Let's play a little bit of this. We did tell Doom that if we got under $100 by 8 o'clock, we'd play one of his videos. Here we go.
Big Joey C. Don't you want to say congratulations to Doom for Clipper of the Year there, Lou? Hello? Donald, really tell Lou that.
Do you want me to answer that?
Yes, why not?
Fuck
start
you.
our fucking week out right.
Yeah.
These two have the chemistry of bleach and ammonia. These two are fucking tragic together. I've never seen Joey C before. I've heard the name Joey C. I've never watched him before. He and his co-host are just two trains on the same track going in opposite directions. They just can't stop crashing into each other. All right. Let's does anybody watch this, by the way? Not this show. I mean this Joey C. Because if he gets over 1,000 views an episode, I'm gonna brain myself on my own sidewalk.
Fuck Doom.
Oh
wow! So I guess that's his way of saying congratulations, Doom, by saying fuck Doom. Anyhow, I appreciate it.
He wins a bogus award.
Could you guys stop? I'm telling you, man. I don't know if it's my ears or what, but two people talking over each other constantly drives me insane. Especially when it's two people talking about two separate things. Like I'm listening to two radio stations interfere with each other on the same frequency. Guys, do a fucking show. Shut up. Host talks. Host throws it to co-host. Jump in. Double Dutch, motherfucker.
Bogus award that doesn't mean shit.
That's all I can say.
Oh, Mason, you know what? Fuck you too. Keep my fucking name out your mouth, bitch.
What did Doom?
Oh,
Don't
shit.
fucking go into chat rooms talking shit about me, motherfucker, because you don't
Wow.
fucking know me.
Wow.
Get it
never
through
used to
your
suck on
thick
his leg.
white.
You know, Doom, there they go, trampling over each other again. You know, Doom, if you really are trashing this guy in chat rooms, I'm going to politely ask you to stop. That is really unprofessional behavior. That is, Illicit Clips would never do that. Doom. Look at me, Doom. Stalin 19 would never do that. TV's Will Heron would do that. There you go, Doom. You and Will Heron can be the guys who go shit on each other in chat rooms. For the record, I love Will Heron. I think he's great.
Bitch ass, I'm going to fuck you up in real life.
Wow.
Wow.
You hear that, Doom? IRL. He's gonna fuck you up. IRL FYU.
All right, let's not fight with the chatters. Let's just talk about
Nah,
fucking
bro,
Carlos
I'm
King.
tired of these fucking bitch ass motherfucking clowns coming in here to disrupt fucking shows all the fucking time. It
We haven't even
started
started our show.
Dude, you know what? I'm tired of this. I'm tired of these fucking hacks. And you know what, Doom? I'm on your side on this one. This Lou the God. I'm on your side. Don't sit there and go, oh, the chat's ruining the show. You know what I'm not looking at right now? I'm not looking at my chat. I'm doing a fucking show. I'm looking at the content in front of me, and then I got the Chat Ninja donations up here. That's it. And LOL, thank you for the $4.99. I appreciate that. But don't sit there and go, your chat's ruining the show. The chat's ruining it. No, the chat are the people who love you. They are the fans who watch you, and whether they write shitty things about you or nice things about you, they love you. They are your fans, whether they know they love you or not. You let them write what they write unless it's like, going to put you in a rough spot or, it's something really fucking disgusting that's going to get you in trouble. Within reason, let them say whatever they want. They can't ruin the show. Only you can ruin the show. I tell that to my co-hosts all the time. Get your head out of that fucking chat. Knock it off, because if you're reading that chat, you're not paying attention to what's going on the air. People don't like it when I use that term on the air. I'm a radio guy. What do you want from me? Let me play make-believe. But I'm on Doom's side 100% with this Lou the God guy. Shut the fuck up, you whiny cunt. And if you're going to call people out and say you're going to beat them up in real life, and Doom, clip it, then show your face, you chicken shit. I don't like this. I don't like Lou the God. Put it on record. I don't know anything about Lou the God. I've never listened to him before. He sucks. He's terrible. And he's being a dick to Doom for no reason.
clown fucking Mason and this bitch ass motherfucker Doom. I'm telling you, Joey, they're working me to a point where I'm going to ban them.
Oh, actually, banning Doom can actually be a very lucrative move. I'm telling you from experience, dude. Make a little money on that. But stop reading it. Plus, you're the co-host. You shouldn't be reading the chat. It's Joey C's the host, right? I don't know anything about this. But from what I pick up from the dynamic, Joey C's the host. Yeah, Joey C Morning with Lou. Joey's the host. You're the co-host. You shouldn't even have that fucking chat open, you amateur. You fucking hack.
Okay.
And I don't give a flying fuck who they cool with.
Oh.
All right. Oh.
You've got butterfly wings, you fucking Mary. Pipe down a little bit. Well, I'm gonna kick your ass, Doom, as soon as I come out of my chrysalis. I'm gonna fuck Doom up with my shutter shades. Build a gayer avatar, please.
The man's unhinged. No, bitch ass cracker, you unhinged.
Wow.
What did his accent just change there? Is he black, or did he just affect a black accent? A black scent, as the kids call it. Ew. Because you weren't talking like that a minute ago, Lou. You were talking like some New Jersey bum.
Fucking with the wrong gangster, bitch.
Oh, you're a
Get
gangster.
that to your thick Portland ass. I'm going to fuck you up so bad, you ain't going to know what the fuck happened to you in Minecraft.
Lou the God, you and I in a boxing ring. Let's do it. I'm fighting for Doom's honor. Doom, I volunteer as tribute against Lou the God. Every Thursday, I'm at St. Cloud Boxing and Wrestling Gym. We're doing sparring from 7 to 8. I'll be there. You get Lou the God in there. I'll be your tribute, Doom. I'll fight for you, buddy. Not going to let this guy fuck up Doom. If anybody's going to fuck Doom up, it's going to be me. You understand? You leave Doom alone.
Wow. Well, at least you get the Minecraft part.
Doom, you'd better not be like a pedo or anything, because I'm really kind of going hard in the paint for you here. assuming you're a law-abiding citizen.
On a leash. That's all I'm
Yeah.
going to ask.
How was your weekend?
My weekend was great.
What'd you do this weekend?
Popped in to watch a fucking show, and here comes this bitch ass Mason. Oh, Lou's probably yelling at his fucking wife. Motherfucker.
Who's Mason? Who gives a fuck about Mason? Mason's a lowly chat person. Fuck him.
You don't know me and my wife.
Did you see the Penguins?
I have a feeling that's Rochi in disguise.
Doom was banned in their comments. Boom, boom, Doom.
I fucking did. I'm
Am I watching a show? Oh, fuck, you got me. All right, I know enough about Lou the God. I know that he's being an asshole to my buddy Doom, my new friend Doom, and I don't like it. LOL, thank you for the $4.99. I appreciate that. Boys and girls, you are $95 away from tonight's goal. I appreciate it. Brett Mack says, oh, fuck. Doom Clone says, haha, you fight Lou for me. Deal. All right, you get his ass in the ring. My ring's outside. I'll volunteer as tribute for Doom, and I'll take this Lou the God, and I'll set him straight. By the time I'm done with him, he'll be apologizing to you. He can do it standing up, or he can do it flat on his back, but he's going to give my boy Doom an apology once I'm done with Lou the God in an organized, mutual setting. Yankee says, I'll chip in $40 to ban Doom again. No, I will unban Chad Buzemach from Twitter if we knock out tonight's goal, and we will also do 1 whole hour of overtime. Over 400 of you checking out the evening show. Thank you very much. On a Monday night football night. Go ahead and hit like, hit subscribe. That helps the show as well. I appreciate it. Hulkamasha Baby says, I am dumber for having listened to that drivel. Yeah, I'm not going to fight you on that one. Sure. That's good. Doom Clone says, I don't think Lou has feet. Oh, really? Well, then why is he threatening to kick people's asses if he's got no feet? Fucking stay in your lane, Lou. You fucking non-ped. There's uniped, biped, and non-ped. You fucking stump-having sack of shit. You don't talk to my boy Doom that way unless you're ready to fucking bow up. What are you going to do? Put me up in the front seat with him. I bet I'll whoop his ass. I would give you a hand, but why don't you give me a standing ovation? Lou? I don't fucking know this guy. I don't, now I kind of hate Doom because I've gone this entire time not knowing what Joey C looks like, not knowing that Joey C had a show, not knowing who Joey C was. And now I know because of fucking Doom. And now I know this Lou the God guy. Damn it, I say. Doom Clone says, don't. All right, I'll back off a little bit. Buffalo Jockey with $1 says maybe challenge him to an eating competition rather than a boxing match. Stick to events you can actually win at. New Boot Goofin. Thank you, buddy. Adam Simon gifting another Steel Toe membership. I have an idea. Since we're gifting all these Steel Toe memberships, everybody jump in there and gift one. Everybody gift a Steel Toe membership. Everybody throw in on PayPal, on Streamlabs, on Venmo, on Super Chats, and we'll knock out our last $95 of tonight's goal in no time, and an extra hour of overtime tonight for knocking it out. Thank you again for being so supportive of the toe. Well, guys, I've got something fun for you. I've got The View. I love these fucking bitches. They are just, and I'm getting tired of them bitching about Trump. I am. I'm not just going to play you guys clips of them just looking into the camera and going, Donald Trump is a piece of shit. Or Whoopi Goldberg not even being able to say his name, going, you know who is garbage, baby. This is actually a clip of them fighting amongst themselves. And if there's anything better than watching the gals of The View complain to the world, it's watching the girls of The View pull at each other's pigtails. So we talked about this morning, but Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski apparently went to see Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago. And my guess is, because they've been having a blood feud for like 8 years, my guess is that the MSNBC bosses told Joe and Mika, this guy's going to be president for 4 years. Our ratings are in the shitter. You'd better go kiss and make up so we can have some access. Well, they told that story on the air today, and they got crucified for it. So the people on The View started having a debate as to whether or not Joe and Mika should have went to Mar-a-Lago, as if these fucking broads have any say in it whatsoever. Let's go ahead and watch this clip. Also, is Joy Behar like gone from this show? The last couple clips I've watched, she hasn't been in there. They also said earlier today that The View is looking for conservative, not just conservative voices, they're looking for Trump voices. They want pro-Trump people on The View. And I'm like, oh, please let it be Kayleigh McEnany or what's her name? Mike Huckabee's daughter, Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Let it be, you know, one of those girls, Brett Cooper. How about Ann Coulter for The View? There's my pick. Ann Coulter for The View would be good.
Matter is, as we know around this table, that it is hard to criticize and denounce the abuses of power by Donald Trump when he is president.
What? I'm sorry, but as someone who was alive from January of 2017 to January of 2021, that's all you fucking people did. And when you couldn't criticize the job he was doing, you made shit up that he said so you could yell at him for saying something he may or may not have said. Like the shithole countries thing. Holy shit, are these people just, is their natural state to be a victim? Is it just their natural operating system? Their default is victim? Donald, the election's coming up. Kamala Harris is going to kick Donald Trump's ass. Donald Trump doesn't believe in democracy. Kamala's going to crush him. Then Donald Trump wins and they go, oh my goodness, it's going to be so terrible for us. And this is so bad. And everyone should feel bad for us. Like, brag your fucking balls off, then play victim when you lose. Now Trump's going to be president and they're like, you understand, it's so hard to criticize Trump when he's in office. Really? If you think it's difficult to criticize Trump while he's in office, go back and watch episodes of yourselves on The View from 2017 to 2021, and those girls will teach you how to do it.
We have been there before. It means threats. It means death threats. It means retribution against your family. It means crazy things showing up at your house. It means lawsuits. It means all sorts of things. We've done it before, and it.
Oh, really? So the guy who faced shitloads of felony charges just because he ran for president had the laws changed in New York so that he could be sued for something he probably didn't do, and was harassed nonstop by the media and lied about and was literally shot at. That we're supposed to feel bad for you because you constantly talk shit about him, you poor thing.
We have to do it again. We will do so again. I think there's a lot of people who are probably looking at what Joe and Mika did and find it opportunistic. There are people who change their stripes, or maybe their spots, I should say today, depending on who is in power and what benefits them.
It's called getting access. They work for a morning news politics show. The president is the main politics guy. They kind of need him to want to talk to them. So yes, they do have to make peace. You know what this is? I just figured this out. They're jealous. They want to go. That's what it is. They act like they all hate Trump. They want to go down to Mar-a-Lago. They want the invite. These women on The View are exactly the kind of people who they talk shit about Trump all day long, but if they got invited down to Mar-a-Lago, they would go down there, and when Trump said hi, they would shake his hand and go, hello, Mr. President. I guarantee it.
I don't know that that's what they are doing. And to me, it's a to be determined situation because right now it's the transition. We don't know what he's going to do as president. We don't know what they're going to do if he commits abuses of power.
That's not going to stop you from fucking guessing and wondering and, you know, just blabbing about it on the show, is it? On the old Cluckin' Hens morning hour.
As president. So, you know, everybody has to live with their decision. Everybody has to look at themselves in the mirror. I'm good.
I absolutely think it was the right decision, and I think it's good that they work on MSNBC. I don't want only Fox people going to see them. That was some of the problem here that I think everyone can agree, maybe even people that voted for Trump can agree, that the things they're watching on Fox are wrong. That's the only network that's had to pay billions of dollars because they got it wrong.
No, they pay. Oh, wow. They paid billions of dollars because they had the fucking balls to call out those voting machines. Where they fucked up was they had no proof. They didn't gather any proof or evidence first. They just started talking wild shit. And it was, you know, everybody had a hard on for anyone who didn't think that that election was on the up and up. Which, how dare you not think that that election in 2020 was on the up and up? So like, oh, Fox News is always wrong, but MSNBC, man, they're just truth all the time, of course.
So I don't want...
Why is it so hard for these people to look into the camera and go, everyone in the corporate media is full of shit? To a man, no exceptions, all full of shit.
Only Fox people sitting down with him. I want everyone. I don't need to know their motivation. I just know you get nowhere in silence. Conversations had to be had. I also don't believe in, like, we don't platform or we don't do these things. I feel like those are very pie in the sky. If you're not having conversations and winning on ideas, you're not moving anywhere. So to me, this is what... Hey,
look, it's The View learning lessons 2 weeks too late. See, I thought you just bring Beyonce and Oprah up on stage and then Bob's your uncle. You got yourself a victory. It's fun watching children learn how to walk and then act like they invented it, isn't it?
What the country decided, he's not calling me, but if
he's not calling me either, to be clear.
He doesn't know who I am, but if he did...
Whoopi Goldberg can't get called from him. She won't even say his name. Hello, President.
I would absolutely...
That's a good thing.
I would absolutely sit down and always have a conversation because I'm confident enough to sit at a table in contrast and disagree when I disagree. I'm not scared. I'm not afraid. You have the conversations or nothing happens.
Oh, boy. Okay, ready for this? Sunny Hostin. How is she going to fucking be the wet blanket? Because that was perfect. What that woman just said, she nailed it. Yeah, you should... You know, if you do a news show, you should be talking to these people. They're newsmakers. Let's watch Sunny Hostin, who looks perpetually unhappy despite making millions of dollars a year. Let's watch her. I'm guessing she'll be the wet blanket. They should. Mika and Joe shouldn't have done that. By the way, any other lefties who shit on Joe and Mika for going to Mar-a-Lago to make peace with Trump are just jealous they didn't get to. Again, all of these liberals who hate him and everything else, they would jump at the chance to go in a heartbeat.
Are you talking? Well, okay. Look, the bottom line is that
Stone Cold
America
said so.
Needs a free press that is willing to speak truth to power right now.
Yeah, look what it's doing for MSNBC and CNN's ratings. There's nothing wrong with speaking truth to power, but that's not what you guys do. You just always speak negative to Trump. And the odds that Trump is always wrong is the same odds that you're always right. 0. So sitting there going, oh yeah, I speak truth to power. Really? Because your opinion is always the same. No matter what the issue is, you have your mind made up before you even hear it. So sorry, spare me the truth to power bullshit. You don't get to run fucking pharmaceutical commercials. You don't get to work on ABC. You don't get to work for fucking Mickey Mouse and Disney and then go, I'm speaking truth to power. Motherfucker, you are power. Quit with the speaking truth. You know who speaks truth to power? And I may not agree with him on everything. Glenn Greenwald. Glenn Greenwald speaks truth to power. Joe Rogan speaks truth to power. You know what? I'll say this, even though I think he's crazy and he's wrong, Bernie Sanders speaks truth to power. You guys work for the corporate press and you hawk pharmaceuticals that kill people on your show. You are not speaking truth to power. You are power.
More than ever. And
so speaking truth to power when Joe Biden was trying to start World War III, that wasn't as important as trying to start speaking truth to power because the guy you don't like's in there. Got it.
I think that we have to be very clear-eyed when we think about the president-elect and cover the president-elect. And I don't think you need to sit down for 90 minutes at Mar-a-Lago and kiss his ring to be able to speak truth and to be able to cover a story. So
their ratings are in the shitter, and they need to get the guy on their show. And they know people will watch.
maybe they're not journalists in the true sense. Maybe they're saying that they're opinion journalists. But we have to remember that Trump is the guy who ushered in the era of fake news. He is the guy who
Really? Oh, yeah, I remember. You guys remember when Trump ushered in the era of fake news? Like when he released that story that he paid some Russian hookers to piss on a bed in Russia because he knew Obama was going to be there. Remember that? Remember when Trump did that? Remember when Trump released that report that showed that he was in cahoots with Putin? Remember when he did that fake news? Remember when Donald Trump said that Hillary Clinton sent emails from her an unprotected server, private server? She kept classified emails on private server. Remember when he said that? That was all fake, right? Oh, that's right. You guys made up the Russia thing and then had to walk it back in the Mueller report. Oh, that's right. That Steele dossier was horseshit. Oh, Trump was right that Hillary Clinton had a laptop or had a Hunter Biden had the laptop. Hillary Clinton did keep classified emails on a private server. Oh, that's right. But no, please tell me again how Trump started fake news. By the way, I got to say thank you to these before they disappear. Truth Seeker Knows with 199 says, you blocked me on X for disagreeing with you. What the fuck? You were probably being a dick about it. I don't block people for disagreeing with me. If they're just being aggressive and cunty, sometimes I do because there's no need to see it. But if we knock out the goal, Truth Seeker Knows, I'll unblock you. How's that? You and Chad Buzamok are getting unblocked on Twitter if we hit tonight's goal. Camel Toe gifting a membership. Thank you, Camel Toe. And Chucky B with $4.99 says a loss for the View and a Vikings win. Sweet. I agree. That's going to knock 10 more off tonight's goal. Thank you guys very much. $85 away from knocking out tonight's goal and doing an extra hour of overtime. If you want to chip in on PayPal or Venmo, those links are in the chat right now, pinned to the top of the page. Check them out. And yes, I accidentally offered 60 minutes of overtime tonight. I have to be held to that. So contribute, donate. We'll knock out that last 85 and call it another win for the Toe. Throw in 10 or 20 right now, and we'll get this thing all hammered out. We got about 35 minutes until the end of regulation and only $85 away. So everybody throw in a few bucks, your favorite place to throw them, and we'll call it a win. And I'll unblock a couple of people and do an hour.
ushered in alternative facts.
Usher, yeah.
He is the guy who attacked 3 black female journalists.
What?
He's the guy.
Whoa. We don't just get to say that and move on. Like claws out? Like, what are you talking about? Trump attacked 3 female journalists. These people just make shit up. Isn't it funny that 13 seconds ago, she literally said, we need to be the ones to speak truth to power, and then she just lied her fucking balls off? God, she sucks. I hate her. She's joyless, too.
That revoked Jim Acosta's press credentials for asking him a question. And so...
Oh, yeah, she's a fucking child. Yeah, it was really that simple.
I think that...
No, Jim Acosta, in the middle of a press briefing, I remember this, Trump called on a lady, answered her question, then called on someone else, and Jim Acosta stood up and goes, Mr. President, you didn't answer her question. Mr. President, we need to stand up for our report. He grandstanded, and he white knighted for some lady, and Trump's like, we're not going to have those kind of outbursts. You know, we're not going to have retards talking out of turn, and he kicked Jim Acosta out. Jim Acosta deserved it.
This president-elect, I hate to say it, would like nothing more than to have only Fox News cover him, would like nothing more than a state-sponsored media. And
this guy is so in their head that they just make shit up about him and accept it and roll with it like it's true. These people create their own delusional world and then live in it.
I don't think he can be trusted in the way that other presidents can be trusted. This isn't...
Right. He can't be trusted like... I don't know, Joe Biden, who traded Burisma favors for American tax dollars. He can't be trusted like Barack Obama, who drone bombed American citizens without charges. He can't be trusted like George W. Bush, who started wars of aggression against countries that never attacked us. He can't be trusted like Bill Clinton, who lied to the American people's faces about a blowjob and real estate deals. He can't be trusted like George H.W. Bush, who said, read my lips, no new taxes. He can't be trusted like Ronald Reagan, who said, we didn't trade arms for hostages. You're right. He's the only president that we can't trust.
Aberration.
But the reality is he doesn't just have Fox News. He didn't do a lot of mainstream media this election, but he went on Joe Rogan and reached 50 million people.
Yeah.
None of us could talk to Donald Trump.
Look at how just pissy and shitty she looks just sitting there. Oh, do I hate her.
Again, no mainstream legacy media could, and he's still going to reach the vast majority of this country. So I actually think
that makes them fucking sick, by the way, that he goes on podcasts and alternative media and he doesn't have to do their shows. You guys get to sit there and bitch for an hour a day. You get to have your, as the Joker said, your little group therapy sessions in broad daylight. What are you complaining about?
Extremely highly of both Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski. I don't think this is opportunistic. I don't think that this is a judgment on their character. I think they recognize 75 million people voted for this guy. He will be in power short of something, an impeachment for the next 4 years. So where can we make some changes on the margins? My first day, if I could say real quick,
okay.
My first day in the Trump White House working for Pence was the day of the Las Vegas shooting.
Oh, that makes sense that she works for Pence. That now I get it.
Donald Trump worked with Congress to ban bump stocks. The Supreme Court later overturned it. One small thing like that could save lives. I'm not going to say I don't want to change anything if I have to acknowledge that this person exists and speak to him. I'd like to have marginal change.
I'm going to wait and see what I'm dealing with. As I've said since the election.
Wow. Holy shit. That's the end of the clip. Doom did that clip, by the way. Thank you, Doom. Was Whoopi Goldberg just the most reasonable person on that panel? And also, didn't Sonny Hostin's family own slaves? Throwing that out there. Taste Fairy Ialto says, you can keep your doctor is another banger. Yeah, remember, if you like your doctor, you can keep him. Sorry, thank you, don't come again. Last time you went to the doctor before Obamacare? Yeah, Sam Show says could save lives, but the bump stock thing was not going to save lives. The bump stock thing was not going to save a single life, and the Supreme Court knocked it down because it was a fucking terrible idea. Yankee. Oh, wow. Thank you, Yankee. That's very nice of you, buddy. Throws us $40. He says no need to read this, but I will anyway. He says, thanks for the cheap entertainment. Thank you for the not so cheap donation. I appreciate that. $40. Thank you, Yankee. Wow. Wow. Thank you for the $40. I appreciate that, buddy. I'm giving his own drop. Gets his own drop. Well, guys, that one just put us $45 away from doing overtime tonight. Thank you. And Chad Buzamont gets unbanned if we do overtime. Ooh, this is like catnip to me. Mr. Beat says the Vegas massacre was an inside job. I know, right? That Vegas massacre was such horseshit. I don't know who did that, but it didn't go down the way they said it went down. And then, how about this? The guy who was the chief of detectives or the head of detectives in Las Vegas during the Mandalay Bay shooting was the police chief in the city where they had the Maui wildfires. Oh, weird. Another thing that happened under questionably dubious circumstances. And that guy was right there. Oh, and also he had FBI training. Google that all you want. It is not, dude, 100%. It is not, I'm not making that up. That's not some crazy conspiracy bullshit. You can look it up. The guy who was the head of detectives for the Las Vegas shooting was the police chief investigating the Maui wildfires. Maui chief, Las Vegas detective. I spoke with Maui Chief John Peltier, who took over the agency in 2021 after 22 years with the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. Chuck Wexler, you spent most of your career with the Las Vegas Metro Police Department. Tell me how you became the police chief in Maui. Yeah, John Peltier led the response to the Las Vegas shooting on October 1st, 2017. Also named Maui Police Chief in 2021. I mean, that's a normal move for anybody, right? You're from Las Vegas to Maui, after 20-some years in Las Vegas. Now let's Google John Peltier, FBI. Let's see. Education. Hey, guys, you know where he got his law enforcement education? Just so you know that I'm telling the truth. FBI National Academy. Look at that. He's an FBI boy. Do we look like the two dumbest guys on earth to you? Is that why you choose to treat us with such disrespect? Las Tejas says, now Google all the twins of the Challenger crew. Wait. What? Hold on. Is that a real thing? Challenger crew twins. NASA astronauts killed in Take a look. NASA astronauts killed in 1986 are not secretly alive. Well, Reuters said so. So I'm sure it's true. The deaths of 7 NASA astronauts in the 1986 mid-air explosion of the Space Shuttle Challenger were well documented. Contrary to recurring online claims that the disaster was faked and that the Challenger crew members are alive using new identities. Really? A July 23rd Instagram post with more than 2,800 likes. In fact, 7 crew members died aboard Challenger on January 28th, 1986. I don't get this. Like, what would be the motivation? Like, I'm not going to shoot down a conspiracy theory. But let me ask you, what would the benefit be? I don't understand. Like, keeping them alive and faking their deaths, how does that help anything? Like, I don't understand why the conspiracy. Like, you talk to me about the Maui thing, or you talk to me about the Las Vegas thing. I can see those. Like the Las Vegas thing, very public shooting, very high profile vacation spot, huge tourist destination, might scare the shit out of people enough to go along with whatever they want to do on gun control. I get that. But yeah, Maui, the real estate reinvestment and the stuff they wanted to do there. I get that. I understand that. But what does faking the death of the Challenger astronauts have to, like, how, I don't understand what the conspiracy there would be. Margaret with $20 over on PayPal says towards the goal. Thank you, Margaret. I appreciate that. We take home 18 of that 20. That's very nice of you. Guys, we're only $30 away from tonight's goal. You guys have been so fucking stupidly generous tonight. I appreciate it so much. And now we're only $30 away, and we're knocking on the door of knocking out tonight's goal effortlessly. Effortlessly. Keep it going. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. Appreciate it. J-Bra, I fucking hate you, buddy. Sam Show says, so they won't know that everything out of NASA is fake. Really? Keep kids. They wanted to keep kids from wanting to be astronauts. That's why they would fake the Challenger disaster. Well, then what about Columbia? What about the Columbia explosion? Is that? I don't know. I'm a little skeptical of that one. That's like the 9/11 truthers. They're like, oh, it wasn't planes. It was missiles and it was controlled demolition and all that. I don't believe all that. I believe that the Bush administration were warned that it was going to happen, and I think they let it happen because everybody in that White House wanted to go to war in the Middle East. And the owners of that building had just taken out a fucking huge insurance policy against those on those buildings. So the controlled demolition thing, the inside job with 9/11, I don't buy that. But I do believe there was an element of like World War II in there. Like a lot of people think that FDR let Pearl Harbor happen. That's why our carriers were out to sea, so they wouldn't be in danger, because we knew the Japanese were hitting us that day. Skeezy Whitefish says World Trade Center 7 was absolutely a controlled demolition. I don't buy that. I don't. I've watched the footage of it going down, and it does lean to one side as it's going down. 25% of the base of the building was wiped out by debris. And so that one I do believe. But I do believe that the Bush administration used that whole thing to get what they wanted. This story is complete horseshit. We got an hour of overtime coming tonight because I think you guys are going to hit that $30 goal that we have left. But and we have a bunch of stories to get through tonight. But this one was the one that was to me by far the dumbest, and that's saying something because we've played a Joey C clip. Which, fuck you, Doom. And we've played a View clip tonight. And this is still the dumbest. One of the Ball brothers, LaMelo Ball, from the Charlotte Hornets, said no homo during a post-game interview. They fined him $100,000. They fined him $100,000 for saying no homo during a post-game interview. It's gone too far, dude. I think the NBA is worse than the NFL when it comes to the sensitivity and all that stuff. I mean, look at the fucking pussies that are in that league, like Greg Popovich and Steve Kerr. Oh, my God, those two weepy, guilty white boys. Oh, are they gross. Every fucking racial conniption fit that can be had, they're the first two white guys out there to go, oh, I feel terrible about this, all this. Like, they're the first ones to, like, performatively cry about it or any kind of lefty cause. Greg Popovich is all over it. Oh, the NBA is the worst. But LaMelo Ball said no homo in an interview, and now they're charging him $100,000. You shouldn't even be allowed to do that. You shouldn't even be allowed to fine a guy that much money. Like $100,000 should be the fine you get when you like run somebody over with your car. Like after a game, you get really upset and you run down another player. That should be $100,000 fine. Saying no homo, that should be the commissioner calling you up and going, yeah, Mello, look, could you not say no homo anymore? No, I don't have a problem with it at all. But I don't know, like sponsors call and then they get pissed off and then people bitch because apparently gays are watching basketball now. If you could cool it on the no homo thing, I'd appreciate it. All right. Thank you, LaMelo. Goodbye. There, phone call. Not $100,000. Can we find this clip? The story I'm on here doesn't have it. LaMelo Ball. No homo. Let's see what all the fuss is about. Let's see what cost LaMelo Ball $100,000.
You said that last play when he took the shot? Yeah, we loaded up. No homo. That's what we wanted. Put the hand up and then just live with the.
That's it? Loaded up, no homo? What is that supposed to be like cum? Like a load of cum? Ha ha. Hilarious. $100,000. Did somebody bite this motherfucker, by the way? Look at this. Did he get bitten?
You said that last play when he took the shot? Yeah, we loaded up. No homo. That's what we wanted.
There's nothing wrong. That's totally fine. We loaded up. No homo. $100,000 for that shit? Shut up. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with saying no homo. In it. Oh, they had Andre Iguodala talk about it? Why is Andre Iguodala talking to Kai Cenat?
Wait, what'd he say?
You know, you say something, we say pause, but he used the other version of pause. Y'all can say it. NH, no
homo.
Oh, no homo.
Right.
Oh.
You can't say that in NBA.
Really?
Yeah, you can't say that in NBA. Because it's insensitive, it's derogatory to a group, and you know what I'm saying? Like, we got to...
You can say gays, dude. And how is it derogatory towards gay people? No homo. It means I said something that could be interpreted as gay. I didn't mean it as gay. Haha, funny. I doubt that people who take cocks in their ass for fun are so sensitive that that's going to hurt their feelings. You can't shove oblong objects up your asshole and then go, the phrase no homo said as a joke hurts my feelings. I can't believe the NBA is doing that to completely virtue signal. There's find me a gay man. Wait, let me finish that sentence. God damn it. Find me a gay man who is offended by the phrase no homo. Lesbians don't count because depending on what's going on that day, they can be really bitchy regardless and just, be on a warpath. But find me a gay dude who hears LaMelo Ball say, we loaded up, no homo, and goes, boy, I could just never watch the NBA ever again. Gays still haven't totally recovered from the fact that they took away the hand check. They really liked that one. So no homo is fine. They're not even thinking about it. It's okay. Grand Poobah with $2 says, if I were LaMelo Ball, I'd write the check for $200K and say, here you go, you giant bundle of sticks. I'd write it for $300K and go, this is just to get me for the next two. All's Fair in Love and War with $19.99. Thank you so much. Oh, do I appreciate that. Look at you guys, just the best in the biz. $15 away from one extra hour tonight. Thank you so much. Let's finish that up. Streamlabs, PayPal, Super Chats, Venmo, however you want to do it. Do it $1 at a time. Do it $2 at a time. Do the whole thing in one shot. I don't care. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Yeah, dude, $100,000 for saying no homo. Somebody says it in the chat perfectly. Cocktiff says, remember when they only wanted marriage equality? Dude, I don't know if this is gay people making this rule. This seems like guilty straight people virtue signaling. I'm not ready to lay this one at the feet of the old gay community, I don't think. And thank God I didn't have to watch much more of a Kai Cenat clip. Thank Christ. Chelino with $2 says, LOL karma. Why? Why is LaMelo Ball getting fined $2 or getting fined $100,000 karma? Has LaMelo Ball done something really, really awful? I don't understand. Thank you for the $2, Chelino. I appreciate that. Very nice of you. $15 away from tonight. I appreciate it. And because I put 60 minutes instead of 30 minutes in there for the overtime, I do have to go to 10 o'clock tonight. Once we hammer out that $15. Look, got to keep your promises in this biz and in life in general. I think you should keep your promises. All right, I wanted to get to this one all night. Apparently, like I hate pickleball. I think it's stupid. I hate the sound that stupid fucking ball makes when you hit it with the paddle. Either play tennis or play ping pong. Let's pick a street. Don't sit out there outside when people are trying to enjoy their day and do that or however the fuck that thing sounds. Don't play pickleball. I know it's for people with like shitty hips and they're getting old and it's a way to stay active. Jazzercise, DDP yoga, ping pong. Stop. Either play tennis or don't. But usually pickleball is a quote unquote sport for people with bad hips, bad knees. They don't get around like they used to. Well, apparently one game ended with quite a bit of contention. And this might actually make me change my mind on at least, a couple of pickleball players, because these guys are not pussies. I also think that this is heavily frowned upon in the pickleball community. Let's see how the end of this game went. Whoa!
Come on! Let's go! Fuck yeah!
Whoa! Oh, that's what happened. Oh, so I'm guessing they lost the game. And then this guy was pumped, and he didn't mean to knock that guy's paddle racket shitty thing out of his hand. So this guy took it as clear disrespect and then fucking gave him a Randy Orton punt. Jesus Christ. He hears voices in his head. He hears voices in his head. They talk to him. They understand. They talk to him. I mean, nice shot. I will say this guy's a twat. You don't need to get this fucking excited over pickleball. This is like me being 4 cocktails deep and playing bags. And I'm saying I drain one to win the game. Yeah, suck my dick. Like, shut up. Your titties are bouncing. You're not an athlete. This isn't the fucking Super Bowl. Stop it. This isn't Wimbledon, asshole. You just took this guy and you smoked him on a pickleball shot. You're the same guy you were 6 seconds ago.
Let's go! Fuck yeah!
Yeah, like, what the fuck was that?
Fuck yeah!
I think he meant to give him 5. I think he meant to hit his hand, and he smacked the racket. But first of all, this guy just got smoked. They just lost the game, so he's not in the mood. So even if this is an misunderstanding, I feel like the genie's out of the bottle.
Fuck yeah!
Holy shit, dropped him too. He got him right on the button. I mean, look, dickhead move, terrible way to handle losing, but nice spot. Still lost, bro. And that's the thing, like, pickleball is such a gay sport. Like, taking a kick to the chops like that makes it not worth winning. You know? Like, you win a football game, that's fucking awesome. You just wanted a real sport. You just wanted football. Like, I've won 2 slow pitch softball league championships. Not trying to brag. But one of them I started and played the whole game for. And we won a league championship. And like, that was kind of fun. We went out and celebrated. We got fucking hammered. Oh, you know what? Oh, you guys ready for you want to hear a sad story? And then you guys can call me gay. Our softball team, we went out at 2021. We went out for the league championship. And I think I played first or I caught. I can't remember. But April was like in the dugout. We sponsored the team. It was the Steel Toe softball team. And April would be in the dugout just kind of hanging out, helping out. I can't remember if she kept book or not, but she would be in there. And Tuesday night, we had our championship game. And then Wednesday morning, her and I were leaving after the show for Las Vegas for our wedding. Aw, right? Been together a whole whopping 1.5 years, if that. Not even 1.5 years, 1 year and 4 months. We were getting married. Worked out. And we won. We won the championship. We partied. We got drunk. We went to Benton Station, tied one on. And that's worth celebrating. Slow pitch softball is something to celebrate. If somebody would have kicked me in the head after we won the championship, I still would have savored the moment of winning. This guy, he takes a kick to the chops for what? Pickleball? Fuck that. I wouldn't take a hard pinch for pickleball. bleeding? Better be. Took a hell of a shot. Dropped him for a little bit. Now, the Kitchen Pickleball reports that the man is somehow okay. I mean, well, look, it wasn't like he took like an Andy Lee punt to the face. Although he did sustain memory loss. He's additionally not pressing charges, according to the outlet. As for the assaulter, the Kitchen Pickleball stated he most likely will be banned from all tournaments moving forward. Yeah, that's probably a safe bet. Julius Presley with $2 writes, finally, an interesting pickleball game. I'm inclined to agree. Thank you very much. Hey, guys, $13 away from tonight's goal. What do you say we hammer that out? Just a couple bucks at a time. Maybe 5, 10, 15, who knows? And anything you go in over that $13 goes towards tomorrow morning's goal. Remember, if we knock out tonight's goal before 9 o'clock, before in the next 7 minutes, I'm unblocking Chad Buzamak and one other person tonight. I can't remember who the other person was, but I'm unblocking 2 people on Twitter tonight if we knock out this evening's goal. So thank you very, very much. Let's hammer out that last $13 and call it another win for the toe. Adam Simon with $1. There's 70 cents coming off that goal for you. Are we doing that? Are we doing that? All right, here we go. We're gonna do this penny for penny. This is gonna be fun. We tried to do this morning, but then somebody donated the whole thing just to be a dick and fuck up the whole deal. $12.30 away from tonight's goal. There you go, guys. Buck at a time. We'll knock this thing out. I love these. These are fun. As long as nobody jumps in and just goes, here's $15. It's done. I like these $1 or $2 at a time. So throw in on Rumble, YouTube, PayPal, Streamlabs, Venmo. We appreciate it, and we will do an extra hour if we knock out tonight. 12:30 is the number. Mr. Beat says, I got kicked off Reddit for politely defending the president-elect. Yeah, I'm sure everybody who has political arguments thinks they were being really polite. And just, I was being incredibly reasonable when it comes to all this political stuff. It's those guys who are being the assholes. We're really not the best at disagreeing with each other anymore, We don't do it very well. But maybe he was. Maybe Mr. Beat was being, completely sensible, and people are still a little, sensitive about the whole Trump thing. All right, Loaded Wrench with 101. That's 70 cents off the goal. That puts us 1160 away from, okay, this is fun. We're 1160 away from tonight's goal. Keep it going. See if we can get down to 0 in the next 4 minutes. And we'll call it another win for the toe. Thank you very much. Oh, just do it $1 or $2 at a time. We'll see what we can do. What do we have for overtime tonight? Oh, yeah, neo-Nazis. I think I just sold overtime to a bunch of you watching. In Columbus, Ohio, apparently, there was a big neo-Nazi march. And, I think I'm going to put neo-Nazi in quotes because, again, it was a bunch of guys wearing masks. A bunch of guys just, looking very fed, looking very glowy, if you will. All's fair in love and war with 99 cents. Thank you very much. We take 70 off of that one. All right, what are we at now? 1090. We're 1090 away from tonight's goal. Cash 45 with 99 New Zealand. I have no idea what that is. I'm taking 50 cents off for that one. 1040 away from tonight's goal. Thank you very much. Keep it going, kids. $10.40 away and 3 minutes away from the end of regulation, and Chad Buzamak potentially getting unblocked on Twitter tonight. Thank you. Oh, yeah, that's right. We got, okay. Hey, my neighbor just sent me a Snapchat. The Dallas Cowboys are playing tonight. Brevin Spanford representing for St. Cloud Tech. There it is. Brevin Spanford, the former Gopher. $1 from Adam Simon. That puts us $9.70 away from tonight's goal. Thank you very much, guys. Keep going. Hey, Mikey with $1. That's going to put us an even $9 away from tonight's goal. Please keep this up. Please do not ruin this. Keep doing the $1 or $2 at a time thing and see if we can finally do this. Every time we do the $1 at a time thing, somebody's an asshole and they fuck it up. We're getting there this time. We started at what, $15? And we're now at $9. I'm going to not here. I think we're going to do it this time. I think we're just going to do it $1 or $2 at a time. And it's going to work. Hey, Gordy, I'm sorry, bud. I got to do an extra hour tonight because the audience has been really, really generous. I'll let you out after the goal's knocked out, Gord. I'll let you out. I'll take a quick break, and then we'll do an extra hour. $9 away from hammering out tonight's goal and calling it another win for the toe. $2 from Adam Simon. He says, do it. That's $1.40 off tonight's goal. So that puts us $7.60 away. Oh, look at this. Only $7.60 away. Nobody's fucked it up yet. Everybody's playing by the rules. I think we're going to do it this finally. Finally. All's fair in love and war with $1.99. That's another $1.40. So that brings us down to $6.20 for tonight's goal. We're almost there. $6.20 away, and they're doing it $1 or $2 at a time. Elza Belza says, someone donate $500 so Aaron can yell at you for ruining the bit. Well, look, I mean, someone throws $500 at the show. I'm not going to be a fucking asshole about it. I'm going to do what any sensible red-blooded American would do when someone gives them $500. I'm going to suck their dick and offer my asshole. Drinks a lot of bourbon, gifting a membership. Thank you very much. That's $260 off the goal. So that is $360 away. All right. Miss Tay with $2.99. That is $1.80 if I'm doing my conversions right. That means we're $1.80 away from tonight's goal. Hold on a second. Mr. Me with $1. That's 70 cents. $1.10 away from tonight's goal. No! Fucking asshole! Damn it, Birdman. We were $1.10 away. Damn you, Buffalo Jockey with the $10. And then just as we hit 9 o'clock too, dude, we were doing the fucking $1 at a time bit, and we were at $1.10, and someone threw in $5. You know what? I'm not a negative person. I'm not giving up. We're going to do this one day. We're going to do this $1 at it. They were about to do the fucking thing. They were at $1.60. No, $1.10. We were a $2 super chat away. Thank you guys. Again, appreciate it. Another win for the toe and your $10 into tomorrow morning. Thank you. Thank you very much. I do appreciate your generosity, and I'm glad we could make a bit out of it today. Let's go unblock Chad Buzamok on Twitter, and then we'll get down, and then I'll go let Gordy out, and then we'll do an hour of overtime for you today. Privacy and safety, mute and block, blocked accounts, and there's our boy. There's our boy, Chad Buzamok. Let's give Chad Buzamok the old unblock. And let's throw Chad Buzamok a follow. I'll be follower number 163 for old Buzamok. Thank you, guys. Someone says you hurt Aaron's feelings with your money. Look, I appreciate the gesture. I appreciate the contributions. It's very, very nice. I just know why he did it. You know? I know why he fucking did it. Thank you guys very much for another successful day. Drinks a lot of bourbon, becoming a member for 29 months. Says, I tried, boss. I was going to be the asshole, but didn't. Well, dude, I love that we didn't have to do a begging segment tonight. I love that dude, this was like a perfect night of goal. It just kept getting knocked down. People were having fun with it. Writing in with, man, this was a perfect night of steel toe. I'm actually excited to do an extra hour. I really am. We got Vivek Ramaswamy. We find out how much Kamala paid Oprah. I almost said April. If she would have fucking paid April that big money to do a rally, you know how fucking mad I'd be. Oh my God. I'd try to steal it. Try to take it from her. You know what was weird? I was thinking about this today. I was thinking about the I was thinking about that money that April took out of our account before I could close it. That it was like $4,000 or $5,000. And like when she got confronted on it, she was like, "Oh, well, on one of my credit cards, I paid for a couple things for the kids." And it was like a couple $100 worth, but you were their stepmom. That's what they do. Like that's part of it. But she didn't, you know, on her way out, she didn't decide to pay off, you know, any of the trips or any of the clothes or any of the other stuff that, you know, I bought or anything like that. It was, oh no, I'm going to take this $4,000 or $5,000 from you because the account was given to me in the divorce. It was mine. And she takes $4,000 or $5,000 and she like justified it. She's like, well, I bought this thing. I bought that thing. And like the grand total was maybe $200-$300. And I'm like, look, if you would have asked me, what she really did was paid off her credit cards with it. She paid off some credit cards, and not even all of them. She paid off some credit cards and stuff. That's what she did. But, and probably put some towards her student loans. But you never offered to take any of the debt that we incurred together and pay down any of that. No. I can still take care of that. Don't worry. I'll hammer that out. That's on me. But she really needed to take that $4,000 or $5,000. Oh, it was such a dirty fucking move. I thought about that today, and I was like, you know what? Kudos. Now Chad Buzamok writes in, he goes, should I block Aaron now? No. You shouldn't fucking block. No, don't block me now. It's a fucking dick move. Oh, is Cardiff salty that I played that game? Sorry, potato. Did the potato turn heel and just start shitting on people now? What a fucking weirdo. What a weirdo. Did he side with the pedos? Did he go with the pedos, the potato? That's too bad. But it really does tell you how fucking good we are at this. That we drive people so nuts with the show we do that they're like, I'm going to throw in my lot with a guy who's really pedo-y. Just never forget how I made you do that. All right. Gordy is staring at me. I feel fucking crazy guilty. Let's play the intro music. I'm going to go let him out. And then we got an hour of overtime to throw at you. Here you didn't even go outside. I love him. Gordy's fantastic. But I go to let him out, and he just stands there at the door because it's too cold and it's windy and rainy, so he won't even go out. Better not come back here and stare at me like that again. Didn't even go outside. The little shitbag. Oh, boy. 09 Canyon says it was her grandmother's butter dish. Yeah, she when she was on that tweet spree that she went on. The tweet spree she went on, when she went on that tweet spree, I guess she was really mad that I was talking about the butter dish. I guess that got back to her somehow, some way, that I was like, and she took my butter dish. Every time I ranted about the fucking butter dish, I don't know if drugs takes away your ability to sense sarcasm. I don't give a flying fuck about the butter dish. I don't care if it was her grandma's butter dish. I don't care if it was my family's butter dish that came over on the fucking Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. I don't fucking care about the butter dish. But apparently it was taken very seriously. Enough so that it made one of the tweets. What publication did she write that tweet for? HuffPo? Or was that it? No, it was an independent tweet. It wasn't HuffPo. Just checking. At any rate, you tard, you should totally care about the butter dish, says Sam Show. No. I never gave a shit about the butter dish. It was just something to make fun of. Something to have a little fun with. You know, I mean, look, I got shit I'm dealing with. I kept my sense of humor. Why can't anybody else keep their sense of humor when they're going through some shit? I get, you know what? When you're at peace and you admit, you know, that your past was fucked up and that you personally maybe made a mistake or two here or there. I think you alleviate that burden and you feel better. I think when you're still in denial and you still blame everyone else for all your problems, I think you probably, you know, your sense of humor kind of goes away. I think that's probably what it is. I think that's the issue. All right, let's go ahead and watch some Nazis. You want to? Let's have some fun tonight and do some Nazi watching. I'm ready.
Tonight, a group of neo-Nazis marching through downtown Columbus just hours ago.
Bro, they'd probably recruit you. Kind of got that. You got, looks like blue eyes in there. You got some blonde hair. I don't know. You know what? They wouldn't let him in. Yeah, he's not in the FBI.
Videos shared with us by our viewers. You can see a group of about a dozen.
Wait, let me guess. Black and red Nazi-ish, neo-Nazi flags. They're wearing like fatigues or like what looks like kind of a Kevlar type of thing. Like they're dressed up like the Shield. And then they've got something hiding their face, because you wouldn't want to see their face, because then you might, you know, cross-reference that with the FBI employee database.
Dozen men carrying flags with swastikas and yelling slurs at African Americans. We want to warn you now, the video may be disturbing to some viewers.
Not to me. Hit me with it. Let's see what we got. Oh, look at that. Look at that nice swastika flag they've got.
You ain't done, are you?
Dude, did the news fuck up and not edit that first N-word out? Go back. Oh, they're rhyming. Okay, they're making up fun chants. That's cool. You know the Nazis, they're performative. Go ahead, you can talk.
And that group marching down High Street in the Short North, which is where we find 10 TV's Carla Rogner with more. Carla, you talked with some people who witnessed this march. What did they have to say to you?
Yeah, Colin, they marched right down High Street today. We talked to a group of men who were inside.
Well, don't worry, honey. You were safe. You were fine. They might have even shouted out a, hey, what are you doing?
Their home near here, watching the Ohio State game, when they started hearing racial slurs being yelled outside.
Which is not uncommon when the Ohio State game's on, especially if they're losing. You might actually hear a few of those. That's why people didn't get too worked up in the beginning. because they just heard people yelling the N-word and they thought, oh, the Buckeyes must have fumbled.
Dwight Holland took this video on his cell phone of what they saw when they came outside. A group of men wearing all black with red skull masks on their faces. They carried megaphones and flags with swastikas on them. Video shows the neo-Nazis yell the N-word at Holland and his friend Dante Bell multiple times. They believe that the men were trying to get a reaction out of people. Dante and Dwight feel this hate speech has no place in their neighborhood.
You're telling me a dozen guys just decided to go downtown, walk around with their flags, put their balaclavas on, put their little masks on, and just walk around downtown yelling the N-word at people? Again, the FBI and the CIA and the intelligence community have been caught too many times, especially that Justice for J6 rally and Ray Epps and all this. They've been caught so many times using plants that I just don't buy this shit anymore. I don't believe it. Like the Klan and the neo-Nazis, there's just not very many of those guys left anymore. And they don't walk around the streets yelling shit. They meet in the woods and they're like, what are we going to do if we see a Jew tomorrow? You know, they do that kind of gay shit. They're not walking down prancing around like a bunch of theater kids yelling slogans. When the neo-Nazis behave like the caricature of what the FBI and the intelligence community think they do, it's probably because it's them doing it. And like that Patriot Front group, remember when they got arrested and the authorities had them up on a hill and they were all arrested, they were all under arrest, but they never took any of their masks off. You know, the cops always do that. The cops always book people and then leave the identity masking item on. They do that all the time, especially when they don't want you to know that they might be agents and cops.
Well, most of them are cowards. You know, they don't want to show their faces. Like the KKK, they wear the hoods and whatnot. But, I mean, it's like I said, this is 2024. All the race is really redundant.
Honestly, when's the last time you saw the Ku Klux Klan? Really? When's the last time you saw those people?
Really think about it, because we've been doing it for years. I just want us to all be peaceful. We can all be peaceful and love each other if we learn how to respect each other.
It'd be funny if a guy walked by, like stepped on that guy's shoes and he just beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, police ended up confronting the group over on Goodale Street near 315, but police tell us that no one was injured and they did not make any arrests. Reporting in Columbus, Carla Rogner, 10 TV News.
Carla, thank you so much. Columbus city leaders are also taking to social media tonight, condemning the hateful rhetoric.
Wow, that's brave. I tell you, that's risky. You know, because some of those FBI agents might still be in town. They might not have caught their flight yet, so they might hear you talking all that shit.
And rejecting the group's message tonight. You're going to see some statements here made just hours
I thought you said their message was just shouting the N-word.
Ago from Columbus Mayor Andrew Ginther, City Attorney Zach Klein, and City Council President Shannon Hardin. Mayor Ginther saying in part, the Columbus community stands squarely against hatred and bigotry. We will not allow any of our neighbors to be intimidated, threatened, or harmed because of who they are, how they worship, or
unless the federal government asks us ahead of time. Yeah, I don't. Look, are some of these probably real? Yeah, some of these are probably real. It's just hard for me to believe it when so many of them have been proven to be not real. That's all. $1 from Buffalo Jockey says, obviously you don't care about a butter dish. You eat the butter before it ever reaches the dish. What? Where did this idea come from that I'm just eating butter like a crazy person? You know what? Fuck you. Now I want to make popcorn tonight. You bag of shit. Midland Armory says the anchor looks like a living embodiment of Hermie from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Holy shit. You're right. He absolutely does. Roots Calhoun says what Aaron means by butter dish is just an actual dish of butter. Thanks. So I asked, how did the butter thing get started? Taste Fairy Iolto writes in the Rumble chat, it's probably the tits. Oh, thank you. See, I had no idea. Appreciate it. You have no idea how helpful that is to me that you said that. to everybody. Mr. Beat makes another tits joke. Yeah, see, now, I should have told you guys that that was a rhetorical question and I wasn't seeking an answer, but thank God I didn't say that. Because then you guys would have never, given me such a straight, honest answer. That answer, if you weren't paying attention, was my tits. My tits. All right, let's go to Vivek Ramaswamy. I'm glad to hear from this guy. I want to hear from him. I want to hear from Elon. Why can't Trump just say the name? Look, it doesn't matter, all right? We've been on for a long time tonight. I'm getting a little loopy. But Vivek Ramaswamy was giving an interview with his fucking Jimmy Neutron haircut. And he was talking about the new cabinet position that he and Elon Musk have, which is the Department of Efficient Government or whatever, or Government Efficiency, the Department of Government Efficiency. It's called DOGE, you fucking retard. Get the thing right. So Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy are going to run this thing. And basically what we've all been thinking is that their job will be, they're going to be handed a chainsaw and they're just going to hack off parts of government. But I'm a little skeptical of that because I'm thinking, like, are you sure? Like, is that allowed? Can you just hand two guys unilaterally a chainsaw and let them just cut things out of the budget and wipe out whole agencies? Well, here's an interview that Vivek did on Fox News, and apparently, yeah, he's under the impression that he can just start cutting shit out of government. Let's take a look here.
Looking to cut right from the beginning.
So first is we want to go right in through executive action to do the failures of the executive branch that need to be addressed. Because the dirty little secret right now, Maria, is the people we elect to run the government, they're not the ones who actually run the government. It's the unelected bureaucrats in the administrative state. That was
is the Supreme Court overturning Chevron deference? Is that what allows them to do this? That now, like, if you're part of the administration, you can use executive privilege to just start wiping shit out? Okay, that makes sense. If the Chevron deference thing, not to be confused with the vast deference ruling, which is made at a urologist's office when you decide if you want a vasectomy or not. So that Supreme Court ruling paved the way for these two guys to just go in there and start pulling shit.
Created through executive action, it's going to be fixed through executive action. Think about the Supreme Court's environment over the last several years. They've held that many of those regulations are unconstitutional at a large scale. Rescind those regulations, pull those regs back, and then that gives us the industrial logic to then downsize the size of that administrative state. And the beauty of all of this is that can be achieved just through executive action without Congress. Score some early wins, and then you look at those bigger portions of the federal budget that need to be addressed one by one. So,
holy shit. So they really are allowed. So what the Chevron deference did, and, maybe like a Sean or somebody like that could explain this better, but I'll give you my best yeoman take. The Chevron deference was where you would defer to these agencies when the Supreme Court made a ruling. So the Supreme Court would be asked about these regulations. And instead of the Supreme Court going, all right, we'll hear these regulations and we'll strike them down because it was just invented out of whole cloth by the president, what Chevron deference decided was that the agency could decide. Basically, the agency that was created could decide if that regulation was okay. So like if there was an environmental regulation that cost a shitload of money and the Supreme Court would have ruled against it, as long as the EPA said, oh no, our experts say it's okay, the Chevron deference was they would defer then to those experts and the regulation would be allowed. Even if the Supreme Court would have ruled that it was unconstitutional. Doesn't matter. They defer to the agency. Well, the Supreme Court, the fucking based Trump Supreme Court, wiped that out. They said that's not the case anymore. If we say it's unconstitutional, it's fucking unconstitutional. So the Trump administration can now wipe out these regulations. They can just go, whoop, done, gone. And then once they wipe out the regulations, they can rip out the agencies that were created by those regulations, which if we don't start saving hundreds of billions of dollars a year on government spending in the first month of the Trump administration, then this is a failure because you don't even need to have the House and Senate for this. You can just do it. So apparently because of Chevron deference, Vivek and Elon are basically, yeah, they're going to be allowed to just hack off the pieces of government that they don't want. This is great news, dude. This is huge.
I think that's one way to think about this is how can the president of the United States, who's been elected with a historic mandate, actually do the thing that the voters have voted for? They haven't voted for incremental change here this time, Maria. We have voted for sweeping change, and the voters actually deserve to get it. And we're focused on how to do that as
I actually voted for hope, too. When I voted, I ordered hope and change. We'll see if it works this time.
early and as quickly as possible.
So President-elect Trump just said on that soundbite that you're going to make recommendations. So you're going to make recommendations in terms of where to cut after all that you've just said. Then what?
Look, we're not going to be cutting ribbons. We're going to be cutting costs. And so those recommendations are going to be on a real-time basis. But I do want to take a big step back and understand, for people to understand the scope of this problem. Over $500 billion that's spent every year right now was not even authorized by Congress in the first place.
Holy shit, get rid of it. Okay, cool. $500 billion off the books right there. Let's do it. Fuck it. It's gone. $220 billion when we get rid of the Department of Education. That's $725 billion out of like a $1.25 trillion budget deficit. Dude, we got this thing down to $500 billion already. Now we just improve the economy, bring in another $100 billion, got it down to $4 billion. Cut the military by a couple $100 billion, got it down to $2 billion. Boy, you know, I think we might be able to balance this budget yet. It'd be the first time since Clinton. Or did Bush might have had a surplus. It'd be the first time since Clinton that we've had a balanced budget.
The Pentagon has just failed its 7th consecutive audit, nearly $1 trillion of budget. They can't even tell you where it goes. So I think part of this is exposing for the public the extent of that rot and waste, but then to take steps first through executive action and then laying the groundwork for broader change through legislation as well to rein in that deficit, to rein in that budget. And more crucially, Maria, I know we're talking about this in terms of efficiency, but there's something deeper going on here. This is about restoring self-governance and accountability in America as well.
Oh, shit, I was wrong. $1.8 trillion budget deficit. Fuck, do we have some work to do? Oh, my God. Oh, no. Oh, shit. Tack on another. So we got down to $200 billion. Okay, put it back up to $600 billion. Fuck.
Leaders, if they make the wrong decisions, voters have a great choice. You can vote them out and remove them. Most of the people making these decisions, from healthcare to the Department of Defense, are failing on effectiveness because they have no accountability. Historically, it's been the view of many scholars to say that those people could not even be fired. Now we take a different view with the environment the Supreme Court has given us in recent years, and we're going to use that in a pretty extensive way, Maria, to move quickly.
Good. Here's what you need to do. Make sure whatever we're doing with climate, we keep doing it, because I was really excited to have golfing weather in November here in Minnesota. So, you know, if it means that my grandkids have a little bit warmer planet, you know, maybe they'll like it.
You have pushback, not just from the left. You may have pushback from those very people who are running those departments, running those agencies. They want...
Oh, dude, if you don't think that Republicans love suckling at the government teat, you're out of your mind. Republicans love this shit, too. They love all this spending and this pork and this bloated budget that we have. None of them give a flying fuck about the fact that we're spending $1 trillion a year on interest to the debt, or that we're $36 trillion in debt. A lot of them don't care. They just got their little pet projects. They got their little pet agencies, and they just love that it's in money, 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 money. They just get access to it and can spend it however they want. Oh, yeah, Trump's going to piss off a lot of Republicans with this. Tulsi Gabbard's going to piss off a lot of Republicans and Democrats running the intelligence community. Tulsi Gabbard's going to be the one in the Trump administration that tells the CIA to go fuck itself, I'm hoping, and I hope everybody keeps their heads, because the CIA, you know, when the CIA get told no, historically, usually the country becomes a less safe place for elected officials.
As many people as they want in there, you're going to want to fire people. Yeah. So how are you going to deal with that? You're also perhaps looking at pushback from Congress. How are you going to deal with Congress? How are you going to deal with having Congress need to change the law?
Well, look, the beauty of this is I think we have a lot of allies in Congress who have their...
All right, now we're getting into the weeds a little bit, but I just wanted to play that for you because it does look like Vivek and Elon are going to get to just cut shit out. They're going to be able, or at the least, they're going to get to go to Trump and they're going to be like this, and this, and Trump can just run red ink through it and make it so. That's really great, man. Ryan the Garbage Man says the beauty of doing away with unnecessary agencies and regulations, future administrations will need an act of Congress to reinstate those agencies and regulate. That's the best part. So Trump will spend the next 4 years wiping this shit out. And the next president can't just put it back in there because with Chevron deference gone, now the Supreme Court has to approve any of these little agencies he tries to create. And what the Supreme Court's going to say is, no, that has to be created through Congress. So Trump, like, burn it the fuck down, dude. Burn down as much of it as you can, and it'll stay burned down. JMB says, would anyone miss the cold? No. Nobody's going to miss the cold. We'll be fine without the cold. Where are these fucking environmental pussies coming in thinking that we need to save the cold? The cold can eat my ass. Increase that carbon. You'll get more plants. More carbon, more plants. Carbon's good, isn't it? Carbon's what life is made out of. We're all carbon. Come on. Jack Sixes says, I love winter. Ice fishing is my favorite thing to do. We'll buy you a cabin in the Arctic. The rest of us want to golf. Taste Fairy Ialto says, just wait until the sob stories about the people losing their jobs start. Well, the world needs ditch diggers too, you know. Taste Fairy Ialto says, just wait. I'm sorry, McBuster. Oh, I can't read that one. Doomclone says, you're going to be working again in like 8 hours. I know. I overpromised. Well, Doomclone, isn't this your fault that I'm doing an extra hour? Didn't I say when we knock out tonight's goal, we'll do an extra half hour? And you said, well, it says in your thing that you're going to go an extra 60 minutes. I'm like, fuck, I forgot to change that. So this is kind of your fault, to be honest. This is kind of your fault, Doom. And I think you know that. I think you know that this is totally on you, you motherfucker. How's Monday Night Football shaping up? What's our score looking like? Dallas? Oh God, Dallas is another one. If Dallas loses tonight, Mike McCarthy could be out. Monday Night Football score. Show me the fucking game, asshole. NFL scores. There, 2010 Texans. Oh boy. 5:47 left in the third quarter. Yeah, dude, if Dallas loses, sorry, but that's it. It's over. Who won Sunday Night Football last night? Who was the big winner? Ooh, the Chargers beat the Bengals. God damn, man, the season's starting to shape up a little bit. The Bills are at 9-2. The Chiefs are 9-1. Steelers at 8-2. That AFC is going to be tough. Don't count the Ravens out either. Chargers, dude, Harbaugh's got the Chargers up to 7-3. I think this year is finally the Bills' year. This is finally the year that Josh Allen breaks through and he makes it to the Super Bowl. I love Patrick Mahomes. I love Andy Reid. I'm a Chiefs guy, but I'm getting tired of seeing Patrick Mahomes. I don't want to see him win 3 in a row, and I don't want to see him win 4 out of the last 5. Brady being the only one who broke it up. Because they're back-to-back, right? They've won 2 in a row. They beat Tampa. No, they didn't beat Tampa. They beat San Francisco last year. And then who the fuck was the other one? Philly? Did they beat Philly? Somebody's going to tell me in the chat. What's the oh god damn it. Was it San Francisco twice? Did they beat the 49ers 2 years in a row? Because I know they lost to Brady and the Bucs. Nobody's helping me. Nobody's helping me. God damn it. I think it's the Bills this year, and then in the NFC, dude, fuck it. It's going to be the Lions. I don't want it to be, but it's going to be the Lions. They're running away with it, man. They're really, really good. But I don't. I like the Chiefs, but I don't want to see them win this many. I don't want Patrick Mahomes to break Tom Brady's record that easily. I want him to have to, get into his 30s, really wait. Hey, you know that story that said Kamala Harris paid Oprah $1 million to show up and do that town hall and promote Kamala Harris? Remember that? Remember everyone said, oh, they paid Oprah $1 million. Well, it turns out that was bullshit. It turns out it was total bullshit. All these stories are coming out about how much money Kamala Harris paid all these celebrities to endorse her over Trump. And everyone had this figure of $1 million for Oprah Winfrey. Total bullshit. She actually paid her $2.5 million. Yeah, it's not a good look. I mean, like I said earlier in the show tonight, Donald Trump went on Rogan for free. And he got, 50 million views so far is what he's up to. And Kamala Harris paid fucking Oprah $2.5 million, Beyonce a couple million, and she got her ass kicked. That is a terrible, terrible look. FEC filings, first reported by the Washington Examiner, show the Harris campaign made two $500,000 payments to Winfrey's Harpo Productions on October 15th, a month after Winfrey's town hall with Harris, and weeks before the pair appeared at a Harris Philadelphia rally. Now, two sources have told the New York Times the full price of the event with Winfrey was closer to $2.5 million. And you know what really sucks about that? And it's kind of shitty of Oprah, is that Oprah's a billionaire. Oprah's a billionaire, and you would think that if she wants Kamala to win, and she's girl power and the first female black president, and Trump is such a danger and this, that, and the other, wouldn't you just do it for free? Wouldn't you come out and just endorse Kamala Harris for free? Like, Elon Musk is the wealthiest man in the world. I would really have a hard time if he was taking money from Donald Trump for these appearances. Like, dude, you're worth billions and billions of dollars. You're not taking $1 million from Donald Trump. That's okay. Oprah's worth what? I'm going to guess Oprah's worth $2 billion. Oprah net worth $3 billion. Okay. She's worth $3 billion. And they offered her $2 million. Let's round up and say she got $3 million. I can't even do the math on that. That's 1/100th of 300 million, right? So what would that be? 1/1000th? 1/10 of 1% of her net worth that she's taking from the Kamala Harris campaign? Fuck that. Mr. Beat says, didn't Beyonce get 10 million? She better not have. How much did Kamala pay Beyonce? Holy shit, you're right. Tina Knowles addresses reports that Beyonce was paid $10 million to speak at the Kamala Harris rally. She didn't even sing a song, did she? She just came out and fucking came out and spoke and said, Kamala's the best. She's the best. And they gave her $10 million and she didn't even perform. 09 Canyon says Eminem only got 1.2 million, less than Cardi B. And Cardi B just read a shitty speech off her phone. God, I can't believe Kamala Harris didn't win. That's amazing to me. What does this mean? North Koreans getting pummeled by MLRS? The Slav war is ramping up. Yeah, didn't North Korea is like fighting in Ukraine now? Are they getting the shit kicked out of them? What happened to the Belarusians? Belarus was in that war for a while. They were invading from the north, or Russia was using Belarus to invade from the north. Whatever happened with that deal in the early days of the war? I saw a map today. It looks like Russia's really starting to make some advances. We got to get that fucking war over with, man. You got to get that thing done. I know that Biden was using it as his own, money laundering scheme to pay back all the Burisma shit. But honestly, enough of our tax dollars already. Hundreds of billions of dollars at this point. We got a couple other things to get to tonight. We got another airplane hit by gunfire. Jesus. We got a Zach Bryan abuse allegation. I don't know how much I trust this one. I don't know how much I trust this Zach Bryan story. This sounds a little bit like sour grapes, but I'm not involved in this one enough. Like, I don't know enough. I haven't really read up enough about it to take a stand one way or the other. McBuster says, Biden said Ukraine can use long-range missiles. Kremlin will be burning soon. Yeah, Biden told Ukraine, yeah, take those long-range missiles we gave you and launch them at Russia. Good. I mean, on one hand, World War III could break out because of it. But also, here's what I don't get. Like, everyone's like, oh, my God, I can't believe we told them that they could do that. Excuse me, isn't Russia invading Ukraine right now? And I know we could go through all the reasons why they're invading Ukraine and NATO involvement and all that shit and the Nord Stream pipeline. We could talk about all that. But, like, all's fair in love and war, right? Like, Russia's invading your country and conquering your territory. You can't launch some fucking bombs at them? Like, where is that the unwritten rule? Where is that rule recorded? Where your country can be invaded, but you can't drop bombs on the other side. It seems, and again, I'm no apologist for this war. I think Ukraine's fucking corrupt. I think we pushed Russia until they had no choice but to make a move. But at the same time, on Russia's part, it does seem like kind of a pussy bitch move to invade a country and then go, yeah, but you know, if you guys go in and you start launching missiles at Russia, that's a no-go area for me. Come on. Oh, is Owen Benjamin rallying to get his YouTube back? I like this idea. I like this. Where can I sign up for Owen Benjamin getting his YouTube back? Let's take a look. Did you hear about that? Like, YouTube is giving some people their accounts back. Look at that crazy-eyed motherfucker. I hope he comes back to YouTube. It would be a better place with him.
Owen Benjamin was removed from YouTube. Your channel was removed. Okay, let's do a review. Next, start appeal. Okay, briefly explain why you think your channel shouldn't have been removed. The times.
Look at Owen just writing a nice love letter to YouTube, trying to get his account back. There's a lot of people that probably don't want Owen going live on YouTube. Take away part of their audience. Maybe me included. I don't know. Fuck, I might stop doing evening shows if Owen's on at my time. I'm already going to have to mute that segment anyway for the Willie Nelson music. Fucking good for Owen, man. I hope he gets his channel back. I hope we get to see Owen Benjamin back on YouTube again. I laugh hard at his Twitter shit, man. The thing he was doing with Veterans Day and all that was fantastic. Where he's talking about how, oh, wait a minute. We have reviewed your appeal for the following. We reviewed your channel carefully. We have confirmed it violates our community guidelines. Oh, fuck. We won't be putting your channel back up on YouTube. God damn it. Owen says, this is my backup channel banned 4 years ago. They don't even let me rebuild a channel or have clips, even if I follow their rules. Never negotiate with these people. They hate grateful people who enjoy their life and are good at stuff because it reminds them of their misery. I want Owen to get his YouTube back. The guy deserves. He's learned his lesson, right? I'm sure if I scroll down further, hear thoughts on how women dress. I just said I think Owen's learned his lesson. Let's take a look.
Can you be raped wearing a burqa? Sure, but does it vast? So you're gonna wear a goddamn mask in the swimming pool to avoid COVID-19, but you're not gonna cover your tits and vagina when going to a fucking drunken frat party? Do you actually care about lowering the statistical probability of being a victim? Oh, Jesus. Okay. Move.
All right, fine. Maybe YouTube won't be giving Owen his maybe they won't be giving him his channel back. I thought maybe he would. The actual Titanic has a lot of mystery around it. Oh, shit. So now Owen's a Titanic truther? Let's see.
So the American worker was resistant to financial debt until the car. And so the Whore of Babylon in this movie seduces Leonardo DiCaprio. And when you look at the symbolism.
Oh, the movie Titanic. All right, I'm in. Let's check it out. What's the symbolism behind Titanic?
When you look at the symbolism, it's like a demon whispering into the ear of an innocent man.
Oh.
Okay. Look at this. It's like a demon. You can see the image. So Henry Ford famously did not want any American to go into debt for a car. He made them.
Henry Ford also hated Jews. Henry Ford was kind of a Nazi.
Model T Ford as inexpensive as possible. He also made a 40-hour work week. He was all about workers' rights, and he insisted that the car should be affordable for the American worker. Okay? Now, he gets into a lawsuit with his investors, and he fought valiantly. Henry Ford is an American legend. They wanted to make the car so expensive that the American worker would have to go into debt to buy it. Now, why would they do that?
Uh-oh.
Understand the American worker was not into opulence, aristocracy, conspicuous consumption. The American worker was filled with dreams and ambitions of getting more work done.
Oh.
So the car was how the Whore of Babylon could convince the worker to go into debt to have more access to work. And so when the Whore of Babylon fucks the American worker in this movie, there's a horror-esque hand on the inside of the car as she fucks him. Okay.
Oh. Holy fuck. Owen just made Titanic 1,000,000 times more interesting to me. I myself always thought the movie was kind of gay, but this is spicing it up a little bit. I get it.
So look at the symbolism. That isn't love there. That's a demon whispering into the American workers' ear.
I'm in.
Okay. He dreams of having this car for his ambitions, which were work-oriented, and then the Whore of Babylon fucks him. Moving on. So the American worker is young, youthful, filled with life, as opposed to the aristocracy that the Whore of Babylon is freeing from. The aristocracy, the regulation of Europe, has gotten so tight that the whore wanted to die until she saw the American worker, right?
Holy shit.
The Whore of Babylon seduces the American worker through the car industry. And in the movie, the cinematography, she's always depicted as red. That's why she has red hair. Her name is Rose. She wore a red dress. Okay, that's the Whore of Babylon. Now,
holy fuck, dude. Not only do I totally agree with him 100%, but I'm also realizing I'm utterly retarded when it comes to understanding cinema and art and symbolism.
Once the American worker has accepted the offer of the Whore of Babylon to get into debt, the waters start to rise. As we all know, in the financial world, every metaphor has to do with water. Are you afloat? Are you underwater?
Oh, shit.
Are your assets frozen? And then we see
liquid assets. Are they liquid? Fucking hell, dude.
As the whore of Babylon stares into the eyes of the American worker and lets him slip under the water. So he's no longer afloat. He is now underwater and he cannot pay off his debt.
Shit.
And that is the story of Titanic. Okay? So Titanic is the story of the whore of Babylon coming to America from the aristocracy that she was fleeing because it was overregulated. The American worker, filled with life and dreams, got fucked in the car industry, okay? Accepted the debt, idolized the whore, drew her, made graven images of her.
Holy shit.
The water starts to rise, and he is now underwater. And now you find yourself in modern America where the whore of Babylon, and this movie, I believe, was made as a brag. This movie, I believe, was made to show America exactly what the fuck happened.
So it was James Cameron and Hollywood as the ruling class basically chortling and fucking with the worker. I get it. Dude, I'll roll with that for sure. So basically it was these elitists going, look what we fucking did to you. And then because America is full of retards, the working class took their wives and everybody 500 times to go see Titanic and made it the highest grossing movie of all time. Holy shit. So we gave Hollywood and James Cameron a shitload of our money for the privilege of watching a movie bragging about how they fucked us, buried us, and killed us. Huh. Tell your wife she's never allowed to watch Titanic ever fucking again. J Bra says, I don't feel bad for any ladies 18 to 40 who die in Ukraine. What the fuck? You could have married a fat American virgin. Oh, well, you know what? That's true. Sam Show says, Henry Ford was awesome. McBuster, Hitler praised Henry Ford. Did he really? Huh. Sam Show says there's a good reason he fucking hated you. Well, hold on a second. Henry, I want to make sure I'm right about that. Anti-Semitism. Ford's anti-Semitism. Henry Ford's anti-Semitic views echoed what exposure? Okay, so he was, yeah. Henry Ford, Nazi. Okay, they don't say he was if Henry Ford was a Nazi, why did Ford support and supply? Well, because he was a patriot. He was an American. He wanted to support the American war effort. And he wasn't a Nazi. He just didn't like or trust the Jews. It does just, not all anti-Semites are Nazis, but all Nazis are anti-Semites, if that makes sense. Chernobog says, this guy has way too much time on his hands. Dude, I would have never saw any of that. I'm actually really impressed. He might have too much time on his hands. He lives on a farm, for fuck's sake. But that was pretty in-depth. McBuster says, A, Owen's gay. B, he is way into Titanic. B, his dentist went overboard with the fake fronts. C, he's gay for being so into Titanic. I think A and C were kind of the same point. Mr. Beat says he makes a lot of good points. That's why Owen has a cult. That's true. McBuster says Hitler wrote about Henry Ford in Mein Kampf. Look it up. Really? Hour-long overtime today. We're learning shit. What did Hitler say about Henry Ford? Praising American leadership in eugenics in his book, Mein Kampf. I told you that. I've told you guys that for years. The Nazis watched us and our eugenics program, which was led by professors and at the university level. And the Nazis were like, that looks like a good idea. Because we had a lot of advocates of eugenics here in the States. Defective babies, born with physical deformities, Down syndrome, shit like that. We had a lot of people in America arguing if kids are ever born that way, we should just euthanize them. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Praising American leadership and eugenics in his book, Mein Kampf, Adolf Hitler considered Henry Ford an inspiration and noted this admiration in his book, calling him, quote, a single great man. Hitler was also known to keep copies of the International Jew, as well as a large portrait of Ford in his Munich office. Fuck. Who wrote? I don't know what the International Jew is. 4-volume set of anti-Semitic booklets or pamphlet originally published and distributed in the early 1920s by the Dearborn. Wow, Henry Ford published the weekly, the Dearborn Independent from 1919 to 1927 as a forum for his views. And between 1920 and 1922, they ran the International Jew. Holy fuck. So Henry Ford really what? Wow. Wow. Henry Ford hated the Jews. Wow. I don't like when I get in Google holes like that with you guys because I learn shit that I like. Well, I really wish I didn't know that now. Sam Show says America used to be something to be proud of. Can't read the rest of that. Germans were fucking unoriginal posers. We came up with the ultimate solution first, fucking pussies. Well, I think they took what we wanted to do and they kind of they spun it. They got their blinders on and focused on one group more than others, I think, if we're being totally thorough about this. All right, let's we got a couple more minutes. We can look let's do this Southwest Airlines story. So you know how we did that story not too long ago about that Spirit Airlines flight that landed in Haiti? Why? I don't know. And then they ended up with bullet holes in it because it got shot at on the runway because Haiti's full of animals. Well, Spirit has now declared bankruptcy, but it's not the most recent plane shot at on the runway news story that we have for you. Let's hit play on this one.
And thank you for joining us at 10. I'm Vince Sims. Dallas police are still looking for the gunman who fired and struck a Southwest Airlines flight last night. It happened at Dallas Love Field Airport. Luckily, no one was hurt. NBC5's Tahira Rahman spoke to passengers on that flight and an expert about their safety concerns.
It was an unexpected announcement from their Southwest Airlines pilot on Friday night.
He said there's a rattle outside of the plane and they needed to return back to the gate.
Shannon and Jamie Lee were...
What's up with the fucking guns at the airport? Like, I get it in Haiti. It's a ruthless, lawless land. But, like, what's going on with American airports and fucking guns? I thought that was the one thing we locked down. TSA's fucking killing it, dude.
Heading to Indianapolis with two of their kids. They were still on the runway at Dallas Love Field.
After that, he had said that the plane sustained some damage, I think is what he said, on the front, and that we would have to exit the plane.
Police thought it was a simple mechanical failure and waited to get onto another plane. What they didn't know, gunfire had hit near the cockpit around 8:30 p.m. Dallas police saying there were no injuries and temporarily closing the runway while they investigated. You can see...
Yeah, investigate, like, how the fuck did a goddamn gun get to the runway for the plane to be shot at in the first place?
The air traffic is running smoothly. A spokesperson for Love Field says that their runways have been operating normally on Saturday and that officials are cooperating with Dallas police on the investigation as needed.
What is it with Dallas and not knowing where the fuck gunshots come from historically? How do you...
First thought is like, holy cow, somebody just shot a gun and it hit a commercial aircraft.
Retired Navy captain and naval flight officer Armin Kurdian says investigators will start by figuring out where the bullet came from based on where it pierced and how deep.
The fact that it hit so very close to the cockpit seems too much of a coincidence. The odds of that happening, I think, got to be really, really high.
He says,
so like working at a fucking airport, there's no cameras on every angle of where this shot could have came from. Nobody saw anything. Someone clearly took a shot at the pilots. No, nothing. All right, cool. It's always shitty to find out that all the things that we thought were like solid and locked down and secure really are just as incompetent and shitty as everything else. Like airports, airlines. Just a guy shot at some pilots on a runway because you can just do that, apparently.
Even if the gunman wasn't aiming intentionally, it opens a security vulnerability.
Did this put an idea into, say, a non-state or a state actor as, oh, maybe this is something we can do to disrupt air travel?
The Lees didn't learn about their close call until they landed in Indianapolis.
We fly quite a bit, so and our kids fly on their own, so it is concerning.
They're grateful for how Southwest handled the initial discussion, but say they should have known about the gunfire before getting onto another plane.
You have to give people a choice whether they want to put their safety at risk a second time in one night.
They're now hoping for answers and safety measures before writing off one of their favorite airports and airlines for good.
You know who never gets shot at? Delta. That's where you got to fly. Everybody's favorite airline is Delta. Nobody's shooting at Delta planes. Buffalo Jockey with $1 ending it for us tonight says, Titanic is still a faggy movie. There we go. Thank you guys very much for joining us tonight. An hour of overtime. I'm going to go hang out with my lady. We'll see you again at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. We got another great show for you. Thanks for making this basically a beg-free show tonight. Thanks a million. Take it easy. We'll talk to you soon.